Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy, you're invited.
Hey, Shalom. How's everybody doing? Peace and blessings. I am Elder Rawchaa, Tuesday nights on G.O.C.C. Media. Hey, how's everybody doing tonight? Today we're going to be talking about relationships with others. Lots of people have this question and a few questions about how can they, in the truth or in the awakening, be able to sustain actual relationships when it comes to especially friends, family, whether to put them off or how to, how or should you actually be looking for new friends. Okay. All sorts of things. We're going to talk about how the wisdom of the Most High is actually going to be able to give us exactly what we need and feed us so that we can stop making the same mistakes. Because it seems as if, we continue to, on every level, lacking knowledge, just continue to ruin, just stay in the ruins of everything. Wandering 40 years in the wilderness on every level, financially, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to, you understand, even the relationship with the children. I mean, good Lord. I mean, we can't even raise the children up out of the curses. We're supposed to be breaking the curses. Relationships with the elders. And when I'm not just talking about elders of our church, I'm talking about actual, the ancient gray heads of the men and women. Those who are, above us, those who have paved the way regardless of their past mistakes. Okay, some people is acting one way, you understand, in the truth, and they're acting a different way with their friends in the world, cursing the Most High and blessing Him with the same mouth, the same tongue, wondering, how am I going to balance this, or should I just cut it off totally? Well, blessed are the peacemakers. Ambassadorship is very important, and also standing stern and not being ashamed of what you're doing. And you're going to realize what type of friends you truly have. So we'll talk about some of these things today. And this even goes for actual people in the truth. This even goes for actual people in the truth. It's not some kumbaya thing just because everyone's in the truth. Automatically, you still have to try every spirit. Obviously, the children of Israel have to come together. I mean, that's, you know what I mean? We do that even with the Gentiles. But even so, before you start just letting people in your house and putting all your business out there, not keeping your integrity, guess what? You have to prove. You have to prove a friend. Try a friend, right? Let me fix this really quick here. There we go. That thing, all right? So, we're going to be talking about that today. But before I go into it, I want to make sure that everybody knows, especially those who are new, make sure that, whether you're new or not, you're getting into these Hebrew and Bible academies. That's why we start the show off with historytimes.org, right? So that our people can stay studious, our people can continue to grow as a nation, leaving behind legacy, letting these children, these babies, our people know, like, listen, we are in this to win this. We're not playing with it. We're staying sharp, and the doctrine must be embedded in us, within us. If they burnt all the Bibles, whatever the case may be, we have this doctrine embedded in us. Our children know it. It's no more guessing. Okay? A man can walk around and rule his household without having to say, I'm the man. She should already know, because according to scripture, you know what to do as the man. Okay? You don't have to throw around these things anymore, trying to force some pretty girl to stay with you. Hey, she either going to be for you or not. But anyway, we're going to talk about a few of these things. Okay? I want to also promote and get people to know that we are doing an actual event. Okay? Check that out. We're doing an event. You can go to G.O.C.C. royaltysummit.com so you can get your tickets. You don't want to miss this thing here. I'm telling you right now, you're getting ready to make history. Okay? So make sure you go actually log in, get your event tickets, okay? Please go there and get your event tickets. Let's see what we got here. We got the all-day vending, the health expo, the Shabbat lesson, stage play of Samson, right? And we got the white and gold gala. And we're going to be fly, right? And I'm not going to say we're going to be fresh to death because guess what? We're going to be heavenly fresh. We're going to be Hebrew fresh. Speaking of that, Hebrew fresh is going to be in the building. Shaddai War is going to be in the building. All of your favorite truth music artists is going to be in the building. I don't need to mention myself. That's just not what I'm about. I'm going to mention all the rest of the people. You already know I'm going to do my thing. You already know Lion and King going to do our thing. But you got King Tyler's War. You have, right, all of the brothers. Let me tell you, the beautiful brothers from the different parts of the body. You don't want to miss this thing. This is the first annual official from our church. Okay? That's what this is. And there's going to be more in the making if it be the Most High's will. So we can wake our people up. We can show them how it's done. Show them the royalty. Okay? So let's not be last minute. This thing is almost here. I don't know what's going on with Israel where, it's 2 days before. Let me buy my ticket. That's too late, guys. It's time. Let's schedule things ahead of time. We're going into our kingdom. Let us move like bosses and, to be the kings and queens. Let us do things in decency and order. Make sure you go ahead and do things ahead of time. Get your Airbnb, get your hotel, get your tickets, and make sure you show up to the event. And if you in the surrounding areas, you have no excuse. Get your behind up and get here, and let's make it happen. Let's show the world what this thing is about. So make sure that you get there because there's going to be some beautiful talent. Obviously, Elder Rawchaa is going to do his thing. You got TTK going to be there doing their thing, right? The wonderful TTK, right? To the kingdom. So you're going to have people from all over praising the Most High in royalty, how we always do doing our thing. This is our time, guys. This is not the time to be sorrowful, sad. This is not the time to be like, I don't know if I can do. Listen, this is the time to be like, listen, my kingdom is coming. I'm walking in that thing like, You see? Let's get it right. Let's get it right. I can't show you what I'm wearing. I know everybody want to know what Elder, where's Elder? Whatever, we are going to come in this time. Let me see, we're going to come in this time. Let me tell you, the Holy Spirit going to drip and dip me. You got to worry about all that. Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you, we all need to come fly because we one body. We all presenting ourselves as the first fruits of the Most High. So we can glorify Him. It ain't about us. It's all love and fun and all of that, but it's mostly about the Most High. So go here, once again, to Let me say it again. G.O.C.C. Royalty Summit. And I'm going to put the link. 1 second here. Let me put that link in there for you guys really quick. I mean, sometimes I think our people just be talking. I want to see the actions. That's just what I'm about. That's just what I'm about. I need all. Let me tell you. I'm going to give you an example. Everyone, you know, we have thousands of people subscribed to A Gathering 144. We have 2 pages. We need you to just subscribe to both pages. That's a common sense thing. That's like, if you're a body, why would you go against your own body? That just doesn't make any sense, right? So let us make sure when we are trying to bring it for this kingdom that we have all the support possible. Not just no thing where it's like, well, you know, I'm going to be making them too much money. Or I'm going to, you know, what about me? It's not, let me tell you, this is about you. You know, it's the body. It's one body. Okay? You're not going to forget it. You're not going to forget about any finger on your hand because all of them are important. Trust me when I say that. You're not going to forget about any toe on your foot because it takes each one of them to balance correctly. And when you lose one, you appreciate how much the Most High gave you. So when it comes to these things, you know we don't own banks. You know we don't own an army. And I'm not talking about the simple people that, yeah, we the army of the Most High. Duh. We're not talking about that, though. We still have to live in the physical until we get to that everlasting body and everlasting kingdom. So let us use the power that we have, the togetherness. It's more than 2 or more that's gathered together in his name. It's thousands. But some people sits back and they not doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, so you know, we're gonna talk about that. And I'm glad we're going into this lesson about friends or relations with others. Because sometimes personally, I don't want a friend who's not about action. I'm sorry, I love you and all that, but you're gonna have to get love from afar. I just can't do it. I don't need to be negative about it, but I just can't do it. And that's how you know when a soul is directly from Christ. A person who actually wants to put work in just because the Most High created him. And I mean, that's what we were created for, to do the will of the Most High. I don't want to talk about it all day and say, man, the Most High is good, right? He is. Let me show you how good he is through my works, though. So I'm just saying, when your kingdom is coming, don't you want to be a part of this thing? We're not just talking about this event, obviously. You want to be a part of that, but just in general, let's get into that spirit of how you used to be at Christmas. Let me tell you, you were doing the most for Christmas. You were doing the most for Easter. You making sure they got the pink egg, the purple egg. See? When it comes for Christmas, you making sure, no, we're going to get these type of lights this year, girl. That's the cheap lights. We gonna show it off. We're going to win the Christmas decoration this year in our neighborhood. I need that same energy. I need that same energy. Okay? Let's get it. First, I'm going to go ahead and play that spiritually balling, because I don't know if everybody's spiritually balling. I just don't know. You know, I'm just saying. Fair use for religious purposes only. Let's get it. Get your mind right. You understand me? Oh, let me tell you, any song, not just my songs, any song I play on this page, any song I play on this show, I get thousands of views on this channel. I don't want to see no 1,000 views on no song. How we got 8,000 people watching my channel, and then you got 1,000 views, 300 views. Y'all be talking too much. Stop the talking. Let's bring forth our kingdom and support our people. You got people who needs, people like TTK, they trying to get on the billboards again. It take you $1, it take you $5. You ain't got $5, okay, I'll pay for yours, but whatever. But let's go. Let's get this thing. Come on, let's go. Too much talking. Hebrews want a lot, but they don't want to actually do anything. Let's go. Come on.
How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin'.
Now I'm spiritually ballin'. Back then I done took a lot of losses. Hard times that sin was calling. At the same time the most I was calling. Man, I had to consider my ways. Now the truth got me riding the wave. Take my shot, they put hands in my face. I won't pivot, I stand in my place. Got the fruits of the spirit, I'm straight. But the flesh like to creep on the low. Even though I'm living with this flesh, my spirit be ballin' on glow. Every day I try to pass the test, putting pressure on every step I step. Count my blessings, never counting less. Putting in work, it's a lot of reps. No stress, gotta stay blessed. Them haters can hate, but it's fine. Get brute kicked to the chest. Ain't no fake till I make it with mines. I can ball like this now cause the grind was so hard it took prep in the mind. Praise the Father got better in time. Praise the Father got better in time, but better in time.
How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin'. How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin', yeah.
I'm spiritually ballin', seriously all in. Heavy tree dropping almonds, higher pomegranates, olives, grape nectarines, walnuts, pecans, sour guavas, and the whatchamacallit. Just in case I forgot them, financially solving all my problems he solving. Although he frees my orchard, roots still be warming. Keep me cool when it's scorching, stand firm when it's storming. Fruits of the spirit keep me winning, want the minutes from the sinner, cause there is no law against. On 10 while I'm walking, know them demons be stalking. All them Jezebels warn me, close the door, they can't hop in. Go and find you a hob, then make you dog food for my profit. Wisdom in my wallet, I got sense, I can't profit for your nonsense. Chewed up with my G brews, juice done just made beet juice.
GK, know what I'm talking about?
We spiritually ballin', not musty or 14. Don't be a simpleton or a simp son like Barton, pardon him.
How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin'. How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin', yeah.
Got me on cloud nine, reading nine, straight about the book. Had to stop and look. Spirit shining brighter than your diamonds. The way I'm flossing on them got them shook.
I ain't talking how they do in the world, always hating on each other. But keeping peace and righteously, looking out and lifting up my brother.
Now watch how I ball, reppin' not higher, nothing at all. And everyday self-examinating, eliminating them spirits that ain't with them laws. Intercept the love, juking all the hate. Run with joy and peace, touching down on faith. Ballin' in the spirit, crossing over flesh. 3 and Satan face, swishes all night.
I'm kingdom rich, I'm showing off wisdom like you never seen her. Got me riding fruits of the spirit, I call him a cherubim. If it be his will, when my jersey call, I'm getting in. I'm not boasting, just provoking the good words. Fruits of the spirit is how to live. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin'. How I live in singulations. The fruits of the spirit got me on 10. I'm spiritually ballin', my spirit ballin'. I'm spiritually ballin', I'm ballin', I'm ballin', yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Listen. Let me tell you. Yeah, it's going down. It's going down. Gotta spit that realness for Christ. Christ was real with it. Christ was real with it. And he's still living and through us with the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get it. Let's get it. So I want to go into this thing about relationships with others because, like I said, we can always use a little touching up when it comes to getting better, being fishers of men and women. Okay, so You know, we don't want to get this attitude where, you know, just forget them. You know, I'm in the truth now, just forget them. No, you have to learn how to hold a relationship. You have to learn when to let a relationship go. And you have to learn when we can't spell everything out for you. You get what I'm saying? Especially, I've been seeing a lot of things out there. I'm going to tell you right now with these brothers, boy. You know, back in the days, I guess, you know, when we were whoremongers or fornicators in the world, because the Bible says you are a nation of fornicators, right? And we learn, we haven't really seen successful relationships a lot of times when it comes to, you know, a lot of our parents. I mean, we've probably seen great grandpas and grandmothers to a certain degree, but it's been rough for the children of Israel ever since we fell when it comes to the curses that the Most High have put us on because our forefathers did not listen. So, man, we really have a lot of work to do, and we do not want to bring our children back into these curses. So if we learn now, we start acting out these righteous acts, we can actually teach our children to actually start that now while they're young. Okay? We definitely want to get that together. So I want today to use, and I was studying my beautiful Cambridge. You know, I mean, I had this Cambridge since this Cambridge probably, boy, I think this Cambridge is about, this Cambridge is probably about, how long I've been to the truth? About 16 years old. This 16 years old book here. Obviously, you could tell it's been through lots of studying. I mean, I got notes all in this thing everywhere. You know what I mean? I mean, I've been putting in that work with this thing. So I went into it today with my Ecclesiasticus, and I said, you know, sometimes I like to come on here and just give you the actual wisdom from Ecclesiasticus, right? So, you know, we're going to go into a little bit of that today. But first, I want to go into 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. There's a lot of youth coming in still like, hey, these are still my friends in the world. What do I do? And I'm just going to I'm just going to go through the scriptures to show you so you don't have to second guess anymore. And for those of you who are Christians out there, if you come across this channel, if you're Christians out there, you need to, you know, follow the same things according to scripture. That way, I mean, because a lot of people get hurt when they're letting people borrow money and you don't really know the person, and we cannot lead through emotions. We have to lead through you know, moving and being rational and using wisdom, not emotion. There's a good emotion that can also cause you to suffer and fail. I am one of those people, right? And when I was young, I made those same mistakes. We were all young. Feeling sorry for people is where I felt a lot. My life would be, I had my ups and downs like everyone else. But when I worked hard for something, it seemed to get lower as I'm feeling sorry for someone trying to help them. But I had to learn how to give, who to give to. Because I'm like, man, I'm going down. My family is going down as I'm giving to someone else for their drama and their mess and whatever they're dealing with. Because I'm reading the scriptures too literal. And when I say literal, not in a bad way, but in a sense of not using wisdom with them. That wasn't the scripture's fault. It was my fault. I had to go through, hey, knowing like, hey, don't bring everybody in your house. You can't sit down with everybody. Hey, don't try to be too cool with everybody right away because you thinking because everybody's a Hebrew. It doesn't mean they're bad, what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. It's so many different levels of learning. They can collide. That's why Moses had to be separated. The priests had to be separated. The Levites would live on the outskirts. They would be like your modern day county. Your county in your area. They govern the areas. They come out, the city comes out making sure that this, you know, the sewage and you understand all the type of health hazards that could actually happen. That's what the Levites did. This comes from our Bible. They had to be able to focus on the Most High's work and governing the society of Israel. Some people in government will not actually come down to chill with just normal people all the time. You either have to be their family or a friend of someone's friend. I'm just telling you the truth. That doesn't mean that they're gods or they're special. But in some situations, it's okay to meet people or whatever. But we have to let time prove all things. It takes time to prove relationships through the faith and the works and the charity and the sacrifice that it all comes with. First, I'll go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. Okay. First, I will go to 1 Corinthians 15. This is a lesson you want to hear, because let me tell you, boy, I mean, a lot of years of my life, relationships with women, I'm not gonna lie, I just love the Most High's people. But that's that thing that Israel suffers from. I'm not gonna say too much care. I don't want to say that, but it's just a zealousness without knowledge. So we end up suffering for a lack of knowledge. Man, I don't want to see them suffer like that. It'd be bad. You shouldn't anyway. Even if you can't help them, you still shouldn't. Some things you're gonna pray and you're gonna do what you can, but that doesn't mean you should join a relationship where they was down bad. And that was me. I'm joining a relationship with a woman because she's going through it and she's hurting. No, I shouldn't put those problems on me. I could pray for you. You know, man, hey, I might even give you a little money or buy you a little something, see whatever. But to attach you to me and bring my whole situation down and change who I am, and maybe we're going to get into arguments or stress or whatever the case may be. Or I've met men like this too when I was in the street life. Men of poverty. And guess what? We had good times, we had bad times. I remember this one young brother, and he's from California. I was in the streets. Both of his parents didn't really care for him. He was, his father was in prison. His mom said she didn't want him. He made powerful songs about this great writer, talented young man. And he, from the freaking slums, for real. I mean, I'm for the poor too, but he was living in the slums at the time. I wasn't living in that anymore. During the time where I was living on a dorm running my record label with my some of my friends. And I saw this young man, he was so down. So I he was a friend of mine, but I didn't know he was struggling like that. You talking about crackheads in and out, when his dad came out of jail, it was rough. It was bad. I mean, the smell, everything was. So I said, man, I took this young brother under my wing. Sometimes I have my roommates. I'm like, can we let this brother in, whatever the case may be. But everywhere I notice, I'm taking him every place. My boy had a coin full of silver dollars and stuff. They're missing. My boy thinking I took him. I'm like, bro, I don't take nothing from nobody. I don't roll like that. But he ended up taking basically everywhere I brung this young man. People like, he's still in the deodorant. He's still in like just simple things. It was always something missing. But I didn't blame him because he didn't know. That's how he was able to survive in life. That's how he was able to survive. It's not a good thing what he's doing, but after a while of putting up with this brother all of these years, helping him, it seemed like I'm just dishing out so much. It was really a big waste of time down the line of my life. Because later, I come home one day, and he was a little too comfortable in my roommate's mirror with no clothes. I said, hey, brother, this is my roommate's bathroom here. You a little too comfortable. We said you could stay here temporarily, but you around this joint. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on, King? I had to call my friend and tell him, who I ran the radio station with. And I said, listen, man, this ain't gonna work out. I mean, this brother's here doing this and that. And we had to tell him he had to go. He ended up threatening my life, and he had to move and stuff. But I wasn't worried about him threatening my life. He knew who I was. So I told him, I said, brother, you're not gonna threaten somebody who actually been there for you for all these years. And I told him, you already know how I get down. I told him I'm not even worried about that. If that's what you want to do to someone who cared for you, took you in all these years, come on with it. I mean, but that's just gonna be stupid. Obviously, nothing ever happened to me. I'm still here talking to you today. And I'm going to give you another example of this person. Even though I love this person at this time, you try to help people who I'm not gonna say they can't be helped, but they must want help. They must want this help, guys. I remember sitting down with some females in my youth. For some reason, the person who's trying to help him, when I go into the scriptures, you're gonna see why I'm telling you this. I'm sitting down with this person, and there's a lot of men who I know, especially men. Men are very territorial when it comes to females, even though they're not their females. I mean, personally, for me, I never had to go out my way and try to holler at some women. I learned at a young age, be yourself, you get more women. Okay, even though that's not the business we're in now, but when we're in the world, be yourself is the main thing. Every man who's always trying too hard because he's lacking self-esteem, even when I was broken down and out, I never had a problem getting really women. But I really wouldn't focus on women when I'm down and out. I'm trying to get on my feet. We're sitting down, some females around, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. There's nothing really going on, it's just chilling. He asked me in front of them to slap box. I've always told people I don't like to slap box. That doesn't mean I cannot slap box. And a lot of people don't think that you're serious about what you can actually do just because you don't do it. I'm just not a show off. I really don't like attention. Even getting on stage for me, I'm going to be honest, it's not really my thing. I get up there and do my music, but it's not really my thing. I'm be honest with you. I do music because it's fun and I got the talent to do it for the Most High, and I know it wakes up people, but I'm not some dude who needs to be on stage. I don't need to be on here. That's just not me. So he asked me to slap box, and I said, no, brother, I'm not going to do that. That's just not how I get down. And a lot of people used to always ask me throughout the years. I'm like, I don't get down. They assumed that I was a chump because I didn't want to do it, because it's always they have to get some type of show off in front of the young females. He forced my hand. And I said, listen, brother, you know, I don't want to do this, but I'm trying to tell you, I got the hands. I had to fight my whole life out of the hood. I don't want to do this to you because I'm telling you, once it starts, this is how it's going to be. So we started up, whatever, you know what I mean? He barely got me a few times, like barely anything. Like, that's nothing for me. So once I start mixing them up, it got to the point to where he had to say stop. Because, I mean, I don't know if you see these Mufasas, these gorilla Mufasas, it's some meat on them. So he had to beg to stop. And I said, oh no, you want it now? Boom! I'm talking about, it wasn't no tap. It was like, you ever watch Lion King? Wow! And it just kept being like that. And then, you know, I finally let him go, but I was like, see, this is what I was trying to tell you, my brother. You trying to show off for some females who don't want you. I don't know if they want me either. I really too much don't care, but I am here for you to help you. And I noticed throughout my life, even when I got in the truth, same thing. You have to be careful just befriending people just because they're in the truth. Try every spirit. They must prove themselves to be a true friend. And let me tell you, the great part about me is I'm verified on all this, what I'm saying. So that's why I can speak these things, because I'm verified in the truth and out of the truth. I just am. So I'm not afraid to speak. You can go back and ask whatever you need to do. I'm verified on all these things. I don't need to brag on them, but I'm telling you true stories to be able to bring these lessons to you on, I am a true brother. I don't need to say I'm a good man and all that, but I am, my word is bond. Okay? So, anyway, let us go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 33 to talk about a few things here today. And then we're going to go to 1 John 2 and 15. Me and my brother, one thing about us, the way we were brought up, we were never brought up to worried about being jealous of one another, trying to take each other's girls. We never had that problem. You have some people even in this thing, they're trying to do the same thing in the world, compete for women. We never had that issue. I never tried to have his girl. He never had to try to have my girl. We don't roll like that. Lion and King is Lion and King. It's loyalty. It's honor. You got a bunch of females and men still bringing the world into this. So you have to let that go. And you want to be friends with Christ? You want to be a part of the body? before you jump into that water, leave all of these things away. All right? Because it's clown acts. Okay? Let us go to 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. It's for the peasants. It is for the peasants. Okay? Let us go there. Excuse me. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Awake to righteousness and sin not. For some have not the knowledge of God. I speak this to your shame. All right? So we will leave it there. I wanted to go to it for there. So first, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. You're hanging around a certain group of people who you think is your friend. It's still in the world. You thought that because you're in the truth now, these things still don't affect you. They will. You go back and hang around your old girlfriends, your old homeboys, and they're still smoking tweed, weed, whatever you want to call it. They still, they're using profanity, profane words, vain babbling, talking all over the place. Your homegirl still talking about getting niggas and all of this, girl, and talking about how much money he got, and you still think you could be in the truth with the sisters like a queen and be with the harlots or the hood rats. No. No offense to them. They can come in the truth too, and they don't have to be a hood rat anymore. They can actually change to a daughter of Zion. But we have to call it what it is, a harlot, hood rat mentality. It's just a lower society mentality. I'm going to bring it out how it is because our people seem to not change when you give them soft words. And see, I'm from these places, so I really don't fear any of these people or any of these worldly threats. Why? Because guess what? You just put me in the bosom. You condemn your soul and free mine. So I'm not asking to be in the bosom yet. I want to finish the work of the Most High, but it is what it is. No one can run from this thing, from destiny. Okay? So I'm going to speak it, the truth, to help people. You're a queen. No, you're not a queen. You're not queen just because you're a black woman. I'm sorry. You have to whom much is given, much is required. You're not a king just because you're a black man. Even though, we go around trying to respectfully, instead of saying, hey, what's up, nigga? What's up? We will say, what's up, my king? It's a motivation to it. That doesn't mean he's a king yet, but it means, in my mind, I think every man has potential to be a king. Every woman has potential to be a queen. I'm not just going to go call them, to their face disrespectfully if they have not done anything wrong. So I have to generalize if someone fits these categories so they can actually be able to get out of them, is what I'm saying. Okay? So don't be surprised if you go back among the world, these people are using certain language. You accidentally say this thing among people in the truth because you're hanging around people who's actually using this thing. Or you go around your parents, you slip out and say something, or you go around the elders, you slip out and say something because you're really still dealing in worldly acts and around worldly people. Let us go to 1 John 2 and 15 from there to talk about why. Okay? See, we're past the worldly beauty, money. We don't, these things are good for the purpose of using them for the purpose of God. But just the flesh, we don't care about it. Okay? 1 John 2 and 15. And shalom to Elder Dale and Elder Rawchaa out there. They come on here and help me moderate when they don't actually have to. I really appreciate that. Yes, sir. So 1 John 2 and 15 says what? I'm not here to say I'm better than people. You're not here to say you're better than people. We are trying to evolve so that we can wake up God's people. That's our purpose. Each one teach one. You can't teach anybody if you're still dibbling and dabbling in the wrong things. Now we have enough Hebrew music, because I'm not going to lie, I was young like you guys. I used to be like, man, this Hebrew music is soft. I can't, like when I first came in, it was not a lot of music until I heard one of the brothers, I heard one of the brothers who was with Elder a long time ago named Damian. He had some hard music. I mean, I was from the streets. I'm like, I need that rough stuff. I was really on some, you know what I mean? Like some 50 Cent type stuff. I'm really like out here with the gorillas and the wolves. Like I can't do no soft Christian crying music. But when I heard, the brother spitting, and I'm like, yo, that's, you know what I mean? It's some people are just naturally austere people through circumstance, through the trials and tribulations that they have been through. Not that you knew you were going to be that, but you became that through having to live in these unlawful, crazy societies that the curses are embedded in now. So now you're like, listen, I'm a warrior now. That's just who I am. It's no turning back. You turn back out here, people that still will not give you any mercy or grace. So, I mean, when I heard that, I said, okay. But it wasn't enough of it. So sometimes I would hear some worldly music. I'm like, man, we were still still stuck on some of these hard beats and stuff. And it's like, man, I still need to feel the realness. And I would be around people who I knew who's actually about that life, and people who would be just like cute, pretty boy rappers who's talking about it. And unfortunately, I can't believe that. Even if the bars can be perfect. But I grew up around a generation to where you couldn't just have bars. You had to be about the bars. You guys' generation is someone can do music but not actually live it. I can't feel that. That's just not the generation I grew up around. I grew up around Scarface, Willie D. I grew up around people who was actually who they were. Drake would never get jammed. I just can't do it. So what I'm saying is that got me into this truth. And, I heard some worldly, I said, I need more like music like this. I can't hear it. And it didn't. Now I'm hearing the music now. I'm like, but I'm also seeing the brothers put in the work to prove that that's who they are in the truth. They don't have to be street thugs anymore. But what I'm saying is, I personally don't want to just hear your song until I see your works. You can have the best song in the world. You got the best vocals in the world, just like Lucifer did. He failed too. And the music continues to have people fall because all they focus on is music and not actual works outside of music. That's not the only work. You need to do something else to get some money in your house to be able to take care of your family. Okay, and to do some stuff for the Most High. It's a great big part of the work, but it's also who made one of the first people fall, the first angels fall in heaven. So I know people like, yeah, that's the work. It is. If you can handle it. Right? So if I see a person coming into this truth, like I got a lot of talent, I'm like, listen, build your foundation. Look, there you go. Look, you say I grew up with Scarface, Onyx, DMX. I'm not saying Will Smith wasn't good. Will Smith, that was some hot stuff too. It's not about being hard. It's about being official. Everyone don't have to be a street thug. I'm not saying that. In that time, I was just saying, if you were a nerd and you like, I'm a nerd, I don't kill people, because you were telling the truth, I can listen to that. Couldn't listen to clowns. We just didn't grow up in an era where you could be a clown, is what I'm saying. So even in the truth, you have to fit that. You have to put that work in to be respected by men. You can have a great video, a great song, but if men of the Most High don't respect you because you're not honorable and you're not humble, it's all for nothing. I'm just tell you right now. Okay? So I just wanted to bring that point across as well. But love not, let's go back to the scriptures because I digressed a little bit. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. So those of you who claim to be a part of the truth, but you have friends who actually are in the world, and you're trying to say, well, that's my friend. I can't leave my friend. Well, listen, we're going to go through Ecclesiasticus to show you, should you still keep that friend? How far of a distance of a relationship should you keep that friend according to scripture? Because what we're reading here, hey, it says, if any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And we have to go in the world to be able to wake up people, but we can't call everybody our friends just because we're waking them up. They still have to now prove that. They first have to prove a relationship with the Most High, and then they have to prove that they're going to, the Bible says, know those who labor among you. It's a lot of people who comes to the Sabbath and say, praise the Lord, and they drop the tears, no different in the Christian church. And then every time it's time to do some work, they dipping. But they ready to do some music or some concerts. Or they ready to come to an event where there's food and entertainment. See? That right there, you got to watch that. Or they always really have something to say, but they don't really put in work. They just always have something to say. So, anyway, let's get back to it. Verse 16, for all that is in the world is the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of the life. So what you hanging out with homegirl for if you know all she's talking about is who she gonna bag today, how many bodies she's going to get and all this stuff? Because the Bible's telling us right now that's what's in the world. What you around the homies for if all they talking about is still how to come up and hit licks on the side and pull scams and stunts and hit, schemes. All of these things are in the world, the Bible is saying right here. The lust of the flesh. They're going to do everything to get the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life. It's not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away. All of these things they're robbing and stealing for, they're going to lose. You lose it even when you work hard for it. From thieves, from robbers, from weather events, whatever. Some things just rot away. And the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abide forever. So out of all the things that we come into the world with nothing and we will leave with nothing, we and our soul will last forever. But the things that's in this world, Paul said to use the world but don't abuse it. So, and I'm gonna try to be able to get some call-ins. So that's why I'm going straight through it to see some of your experiences that you may have had. Now I got to be within 2 minutes. Okay. But, or what you have learned from some of these things in the past or even today. So, all right. Let me see where I'm at here. Do I want to focus on this too long? Because I have a lot of scriptures. Yeah. So, let's go to 2 Corinthians 6 and 14 really quick. Second Corinthians 6 and 14. I want to show you guys something. When you come into this truth, and if you even come into the truth and you know somebody, you done told them, hey, you might not want to do that. And even they didn't got in counsels and all that, and they still messing around doing crazy stuff because it's people in the truth who's like that. I'm going to tell you, it's people who, they get caught still smoking. Let me tell you, people get caught, still smoking weed. And they be like, yeah, praise the Most High. You making music with them and all that. Don't know. They still smoking weed, cigarettes, doing drugs, hustling on the side. It's still people who still be doing these things sometimes. Still doing the unlawful acts. That's why you have to try every spirit. Some people is calling themselves Hebrews, but still be in the world. I don't know what you're talking about. Good ones really quick. If you're 666 and I'm 777, they're both evil. Okay, it's funny. Elder Rawchaa just brought that out today, showing people you've been deceived with the 777. It's the same thing as 666 when you read the Hebrew. Okay, so the number 6 looks just like the 7 in Hebrew. So there you go. Stop worrying about this numerology garbage. There's a lesson going on. Okay. Anyway. And if you wasn't talking about that, you might want to focus on this lesson here. You can talk about 777 another day. Entanglements. And guess what? If you want to come in here interrupting, we got to kick you out. Because you're just a you-wish troll right now. Anyway. Entanglements. Okay? Entanglements with the world, entanglements with different relationships and people. When the Bible says, make ye friends of mammon, that you will be without everlasting habitations, guess what? It's not talking about to be a fool and cast your pearls before swine. Okay? It's talking about making connections with people who they are not necessarily your friends, in a sense. There are people who, when you need to go and do some business with, I mean, you can call them a friend, but they're not necessarily your real friend. You can call them whatever, acquaintance, whatever, a person, you know, a business friend, whatever. But they're not really coming to your house, eating dinner, getting welcome and all that. That's so that we don't want to be simple when we're reading the scriptures. Okay? So, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Don't put yourself as an underling to a worldly person. Well, you're like, I'm the leader of the group. No, you're not. Because you're still doing the things that they are doing. So you are now by default an underling to them. When you know more better than them, and you will suffer more than them because you knew better. So you have to be careful for that. I don't care how old you are. Well, I'm a grown lady. I'm a grown man. Okay, well, see how it fares well for you. Because in the spirit, we all the same age. Okay? So, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship had righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion had light with darkness? And what concord had Christ with Belial? You're supposed to be follower of Christ. You telling me that you're an underling to your home girl? Well, yeah, girl, can you come out with me real quick? I'm just gonna meet this nigga real quick. I'm gonna say it how y'all be saying it. You know you come to the Sabbath and act like you all perfect now. But you be over here with your hood rat friends. You see? And there you go. That makes you the same thing if that's what you're doing. Being an underling to a street thug or to a person who you hanging around them. Now you get caught up. Now you go to jail. You're not going to tell us the real reason why you went to jail because you was hanging with the wrong company. Guess what? Some of my friends hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, and guess what? I see them in the club, partying, doing anything. I don't have time to judge them do their thing. When they need to ask me something scripturally, I give it to them. When they need me to pray for them, I'll pray for them, whatever the case may be. But they know I'm not going to visit you. I'm not going to be some Nipsey Hussle. You going out to the wrong place and then you end up getting shot or killed and you had no business belonging in these places. If I'm not going with the men of the Most High, who I know the angels is protecting to actually go do his mission or his work, let me tell you, I rarely even travel sometimes if it's not the work of the Most High a lot of times. Because you know, sometimes your wife's, and I'm not talking about my wife, but sometimes family wants to get excited. Oh, let's go to Hawaii, do this. Oh, and then the dang on fire drop in Hawaii. Oh, let's go do this, let's go do that. Let me tell you right now, it got to be led through the spirit of that man to know that it's not just this is not some vacation. We're in a time of war. It's nothing wrong with having vacations and doing things, but please be praying on things and be led by the spirit. You die to somebody else's silly emotions. Well, I don't know what Nipsey Hussle was. Yes, he was accordingly a Crip, but I think he was an agent personally. I don't get into all that. So anyway, he wasn't even no Negro. He was an Eritrean. Not that matters, but at the same time, I'm saying it's a whole agenda with this thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. But anyway, I just use it as a general example. Let's not make it a Nipsey Hussle conversation. It's not that deep. So, anyway, let's go to 16. And what agreement had the temple of God with idols? This is not to make you some type of some type of extreme Israelite on people. That you just get this knowledge and you destroy relationships through your lack of knowledge. Don't destroy relationships either. What agreement had the temple of God with idols? You just need to know the difference when you are being an underling, you are being overtaken, than you trying to actually be the fisherman, being patient to receive a soul. So there's a difference with this. For tonight, I want to focus specifically on keeping relationships, whether you should get rid of relationships, or whether you should not become an underling to them. Okay? So, let me see. As God had said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. Excuse me, I forgot this one. For ye are the temple of the living power. as the Most High had said. I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore, so that's why you should come out from among them and be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. So don't think you can go blow a little weed and then come back to the Sabbath. Don't think you can go and blow a little cigarettes and come back to the Sabbath and be holy. It's proven through science that people who rest on the Sabbath actually get healed. I read books about this long ago. I don't know how where they got the info from when I was reading it, but I can tell you they know how important it is when it comes to the Sabbath. We just need to do what we need to do, but don't think you like the Bible says. Don't bring your gift to the altar until you make it right with your brother. Right now, I can use that for another way. Until you make it right with the Most High. Get that burden off of your shoulders. Get that demon off of your shoulders. And then come to that temple. Stop playing when you come in here. See? Because let me tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. Every 3 months in Houston, it's discipline. These people, let me tell you. Every 3 months, we looking at attendance, we looking at tithe paying, and we looking at people's progression. Oh, this person still have an attitude, or you know what I mean, or listen. When you sit down in this seat, just like when a president sits down in a seat, they taking on a whole covenant, a whole spirit. When you sit down in the seat of Christ, saying that you're going to do this work. When you take that covenant jumping in this water, it's going to be a battle. You ain't going to be perfect, but it has to be serious. There's people out there who's looking for this and can't find it. Wish they were in your position, right? I want to jump to Sirach 9 and 10 through 16. Sirach 9 and 10. Dealings with various people. So now this is the relationships where it's dealings with various people. Now, if you can't understand some of the verbiage of the old English, Quaker English, and the Sirach or the Ecclesiasticus, you can always get your Cambridge annotated, and it will break it down really nice. Have both of them in front of you and kind of compare, and eventually you will be able to read the actual, the normal Apocrypha, okay? But this is a great tool because it has the 70 missing scriptures if you follow our Hebrew and Bible Academy. All right. And if you're new and you're just coming in, if you want to follow our Hebrew and Bible Academy, just go to historytimes.org. It's a 3-month course, and it will get you up to speed on your biblical studies and your education. And you can even tell your pastor to come do it too. And I'm not saying it in a condescending type of way. I'm like, he really can get educated on the history, showing that the blacks and the native Indians, the Pacific Islanders, are actually the true Jews and Hebrews of the Bible. And that's not looking down on anyone else. Okay, that's just the truth of the matter. Okay, and how the so-called Jewish people living in the land of Israel are actually converted. Okay, they're converted Jews or whatever, all right? And that's no disrespect. That's just the truth of what Revelations 2 and 9 says, okay? They're just fitting their part in prophecy. They're supposed to be doing what they're doing here. Anyway, let's go to verse 10 again. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. I want us to be careful with this because, one second. I want us to be careful with it because that doesn't mean you go back into the world with your old friends if they're in the world. Especially if they're really eventually not going to join you in the truth. That means they don't actually, but that does also not mean that you need to ruin the relationship. So in 2 ways, you can actually be able to balance their relationship as an ambassador of Christ to keep their relationship flowing. Instead of, what does the Bible say? Instead of a friend, make not an enemy. So that's what you need to do according to Scripture. Instead of a friend, knowing they're still in the world, doing their thing, don't make an enemy. Because that person was there for you. They were doing certain things. It could be a time where they can actually want to join, you know, and walk the gospel just like you. So that's how you deal with that. But if you know they're still in the world doing certain things, don't attach yourself to it like we just read in 1 John 2 and 15. Okay? So in this walk, you have to be disciplined. You have to study. You have to be strategic. Especially sisters dealing more so from emotion, and emotional young men who were only raised by women, who are afraid to hear hard answers from men, and thinking that men are mad at them just because they answer them hard or stiff or stern or direct. Okay? So, a new friend is as new wine. It must age. The wine is good. When you start, I make my own wine. That wine is already good. But the longer it ages, I'm talking about the better it gets. I mean, I made me some wine last week. I mean, this whole month I've been making me wine. Only from grapes. No water, no anything. Just grapes, no sugar, no yeast like Esau. You gotta get your wine yeast. No. You drink that wine, 7 to 14 days later, it's already tasting good. But the longer you leave it, you're like, oh, this thing is better, more clear. And that's how it is with friendship. That's how it is with a godly relationship with your significant other, your parents, your grandparents, sisters, brothers. It takes time. You have to go through things. We're going to talk about it. Right? So we're going to read all the way to, I got to stay on track here, to 16 so I don't go too far, so I can open these lines up. All right. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. Some of my friends that I made in this truth, the ones who stuck it down with me, let me tell you, Ramar, Rock, Elder Rawchaa, Lawya. I mean, these men, they've been down through the whole thick and thin of this thing. My brother Malak. These people, and I've made new friends now as well. But these are true people who I had to prove myself to them, and they had to prove themselves to me. This is how relationships are done. They've proven that they're going to go out their way for the Most High and His people. Without money, without filthy lucre's sake, without some, vainglory. This is how truth relationships are built. Right? Humility. Even when you're wrong, they're going to tell you when you're wrong, or, hey, if we should do this, or if they're going to do this or not. That's how a true relationship is brought in the truth. You'll drink it with pleasure after a while. Envy not the glory of a sinner, what your homegirls and your homeboys are doing, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. My homegirl still doing this. My homeboy doing that, man. Guess what? You don't know what their end is going to be doing these things. Okay? Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. You are on carnal things when you should be on spiritual things. That doesn't mean you will not have carnal things once you understand this doctrine. The carnal things will now just be thrown to you easy. See? They would just be thrown to you easy, guys. All right? I want to keep losing my place here. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. Keep thee far from the man that had power to kill. Now, on this part, young men sometimes think they're tough. But you ever been around a savage, like a proper savage? I'm not talking about us calling ourselves savage in rap music. That's totally stupid. You're calling yourself a son of Cain, a murderer. I don't know if you guys have actually been around people like this, but I have, and it's very uncomfortable knowing that this person have done some things. That's all I'm going to say like that. And, I was around people who have done it a few times. So I was never comfortable around them, or could never trust them, or never would invite them in my house. We were only acquaintances because I was rolling with my friend who knew them, and basically, I guess my music was becoming so powerful it was uniting the Crips and the Bloods. I know it may sound a little crazy to you, but that's the truth about it. That's what was happening, because this place where I was had never seen someone make it famous from where they were. So it was becoming that powerful to where I have different people around me, but that doesn't mean just because they're around me and they're friends of my friend that I trust them or want them around me. So I've been around people like this, and they're always talking about, man, I feel like killing me a nigga. And they'll get on that ecstasy and they're always saying that same thing. I've heard this a lot of times. I've even heard this on the internet, the same phrase. That's how you know it's a familiar spirit. Man, I feel like killing me a nigga. And you be like, what? Like, what for? Like, what's going on? You good? You know what I'm saying? But they will be on these gateway drugs. You see what I'm saying? And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I always stayed ready, just in case this same person who's friends with my friends feels like he wants to crack jokes. Sometimes they would try to crack jokes with me. Me knowing that they've done certain things, they thought that would intimidate me. You're still a man like me. So that don't fear me. To me, you're just a lunatic. I don't fear you though, but I don't really want a problem with you, because I know if I have a problem with you, I'm going to have to do something to you, because this is already what you do. Okay? So that's why it made me feel uncomfortable. I am not naturally a Cain. I am an Abel. So and I'm able to keep my patience with people like this, so that one, I'm not going to hurt them or me have to go to prison or whatever the case may be. I have things to lose. They may not have things to lose. So the Bible right now is talking about living with people on the edge. I was in the streets with crazy people like this who was on the news. I'm going to tell you right now. I wasn't around them every day, but every now and then when they get out and all that, I'm like, when I drive up, I'm like, oh my goodness, here's such and such. I'm like, Father, have mercy. I know he's going to try to say something smart. I'm going to stay quiet because I don't like people just joking with me like that. So I'll stay quiet with him because I don't want it to be whatever the case. Now, he's only got so far to go before I have to check him. And I ain't going to lie, I had to check him a few times. But he realized that wherever I'm willing to go, this guy's willing to go. But I'm not going to go there because he's friends with my friend. So, guys, you don't want to ride around with people like this. They're very hyper, very crazy, and they want to make trouble somehow, some way. And when you have a serious person like this, who's not like in the childish mind frame like the person I'm telling you, there's another level to it. You have to be careful what you speak and say in front of you. Now you don't want to say something smart in front of a person of power, because they already have been living Cain for a long time. So regardless of what you can do to them, that don't really matter. So the Most High is showing you these people are living on the edge for no reason. It's not about being scared. It's about being smart. So we have a lot of people who's rapping and all that. They don't know what they're talking about. I've been in heart pumping situations. I'm protecting myself one way and somebody protecting themselves the other way, like the movies. Very heart pumping, very scary. It's nothing to brag. This is nothing. When you see people bragging about this is not something to brag about, guys. This is very scary. Okay, when you're trying to protect yourself, it's scary. It's not something like, man, I whooped this bird, man. Yeah, that's not what you're doing this for. You try to get home safe. You know what I mean? So keep thee far from the man that had power to kill. And if he has money, if he has money or he has control of people around him, it's even easier for something to happen to you. Don't be some young dummy being an underling to people like this. If you're an underling to foolish, deadly, powerful people, celebrities and people in the government and all that, guess what? You thinking you doing something, you ain't really doing anything. They're using you. And they know everything about you if you are down or not. They will respect a humble person more than you because they know I'm dealing with a clown right now. And whatever he say, punch him in his mouth. And when you punch him in his mouth, you're going to see what he's going to do and who he's really about, because he don't know where he's at right now. So this is the thing you have to be careful for when you hanging around people in the world. So come out of her, my people, because you thinking you tough and you ain't been in these heart pumping situations around these people. The Most High tell you, let me tell you, they will make you eat your words. You will be dead. So don't hang around these type of people, guys. And if you'll have to be around them, Don't really say much. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay? Because they're just waiting for the moment. Now, so shall thou not doubt the fear of death. I'm telling you what I've been through before I read this. I already know what it's going to say, even if I don't read it. Because I know how this goes. And if thou come unto him, make no fault. Check it out. You know what's funny about this? I've already read the scripture, but I didn't read it before I got in this lesson. So I'm telling you something before I'm actually reading it. I know how this goes. Okay? So shall thou not doubt the fear of death. Don't think it won't happen, because you feeling tough today. And if you come up unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Check that out. Wasn't that what I just telling y'all? Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest up the battlements of the city. You in his place, you in his hood, you in his territory, you in his corporate sector. You where he can press a button where no one's going to know about it. As near as you can, try to understand thy neighbor and consult with the wise. Okay? Let thy talk be with the wise, and all thy communication be in the law of the Most High. So, as near as you can, try to understand your neighbor. You have to get to know them. Know who you labor amongst. Know who labors among you. Take the time out, because time proves all things, whether it's going to be good or bad, evil or good, life or death. Okay? And let just men eat and drink with thee. So when you start getting on your feet and you're able to invite people to your home, don't invite in these people from the world anymore just because you feel sorry for them. Don't lead through emotion. They have to work to get to the point where you are in. You can't feel sorry for the whole world and try to save the whole world. That's what Christ and the Most High are for. You try to pull out who you can. But you can't worry about every little situation, because you're going to sound like the disciples in Judas when the alabaster box was present. They were like, well, man, we got to feed the poor. We got to feed the poor, you know. They didn't really care about the poor. But I'm saying, even if they did, Christ told them what? We can't save the whole poor. The poor are going to always be with you. If it was up to Christ to come and save the whole poor, he would have did it when he was down. Let me tell you, you would have did it when he was down here. I'm going to show you the poor who he's going to save. We're going to read it tonight. Okay? So you can understand your God and your mission. It's not that you can't feel compassion. It's just you have to be very wise. So, let just men eat and drink with thee, and let thy glorying be in the fear of the Most High. Okay? Let us jump to 6 and 5. Give me one moment here. Let us jump to 6 and 5. Same book, Ecclesiasticus. There we go. We just do it like that. Give me a little bit more drink of this good protein shake. You better go to KWWSupplements.com, because when you're in moments like this where you still got to feed the muscles, because I did them 500 reps on that chest today, you got to feed them muscles. All right. You got to feed them. You know, you want to be waking up sluggish the next day. Feed them. All righty. Ecclesiasticus chapter 6 and 5. Yep. True and false friends. You wanted to know about your friends and relationships, right? We're gonna show you. Sweet language will multiply friends. That means respectful, honorable, not going around joking and jesting. Oh man, you smell like, just silly clown, immature spiritual behavior, whether in the world or in the truth. Okay, we have to be respectful, especially when you don't know somebody. Let me tell you, some people's patience level, especially when you go the older the school, of certain men and women, like our great grandparents and grandfathers. Let me tell you, you might not want to go around joking how these young cats is doing these little joke videos and all that. These little, what do they call these new videos? It's a prank and all that. You got to be careful who you run up on. I've seen some of these things go wrong because it's not that, well, why people got to be too serious and not have a sense of humor. That would not go on in the land of Israel, a godly environment, where you can run by, slap people on the head, and just throw things at people. People try to take a shower, you putting soap on them. It's like all type of weird. And even what's more disrespectful is when they disrespect elders. People will be sleeping, and you know what the Bible even says, if someone's sleeping and you start yelling at them to wake them up, listen, this is how this environment is becoming like Sodom and Gomorrah. So it says sweet language will multiply friends, not going around joking, pranking, and jesting. And when you hurt these people, now they trying to sue you. You get what I'm saying? Why would godly people do things like this? So let us remember when the Bible says, if your enemy hunger, feed him. If it thirsts, give him something to drink. Meaning, if I'm getting into it with a sister or brother in the church, instead of me wishing on their downfall if they go through something, I'm actually going to go bake them some bread. I'm going to bake them some good bread too. Give them some food to try to gain them. Maybe I'm not doing it to be best friends with them, but I don't want to see my body part withering away. It's easy to wish on the downfall. I'm going to pray for them. And if they actually need me, regardless, guess what? I'm not feeling what they said to me 2 days ago, 3 days ago, last week, but I'm not going to let my enemy suffer. And they're not my true enemy. They have allowed the demon to come into them. They have allowed the sun to go down on their wrath to give place to the devil. But actually, I'm going to go and put out the fire with water. A soft answer turns away wrath. So does what we're reading right now. Sweet language will multiply friends. Charity. Christ was on the cross with the two gentlemen who committed crimes. He forgave them, knowing that our people wouldn't fully understand according to how we're living now. A lot of our people don't really even know a lot of things they do. They just grew up in sin and used to this thing. So when you come to the truth, knowing people are still trying to transition, sometimes there may be a mistake or whatever the case may be. Let us be respectful, greet each other with a holy kiss. All brothers know in Houston, when we boom, we holy kiss. And I don't need to do the going around, beating around the bush 4-time old Hebrew culture general trying to be too hard thing. That ain't me. Come here and give me a holy kiss. Just make sure you keep your breath clean and all that. Keep yourself together, and we good. But you see, and make sure you're not sick when you come around to the church, so I don't get sick. But I'm gonna do what the Bible says. Give me a holy kiss. Well, you know what I mean. And we, and we're gonna follow the scriptures. Okay, that's why when I see brothers doing me 4 times, you ain't gotta do all that. 1 time, we done. Because I got 20 more people to give holy kisses to. If we doing this joint, it's like, what are we doing here? We doing some new dance or something? What's going on? Let's keep the Bible, the simplicity in Christ. Sweet language multiplies friends, and a fair-speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. People will cleave to you, okay, in relationships, at work, in the grocery store, okay, if you are speaking respectful. If you are speaking like Shanae, you're speaking like Sexy Red. I mean, I seen a video where this girl was shaking her backside and her son was trying to tap it. He didn't even know what's going on. This is very sad, guys. These are loudmouth people. And let me tell you, it's not only the people in America, the Nigerians and West Africans, I don't know, but their culture is very loud. So some people always think because a person's from Africa, their culture is more righteous. That's just not true. I remember my brother having his restaurant, and my homeboy, he know I love him, my Nigerian friend, he comes there, and we were having a meeting with some big people to better our business. He come there, and we like, hold up, King, like we having a meeting, like, bruh. And the other day I'm in a restaurant, I'm going to, get my kids some pizza at Mod's Pizza. Here we go again. I'm like, I guess this is just their culture. I'm hearing the sisters, they will have you hearing their whole conversation. And I'm not trying to disrespect the language because I don't know what they're saying, but it's very loud. So we ghetto in Africa and we ghetto over here. So we have to learn how to tone that thing down. That's really no different than what the Egyptians are doing over there. And I noticed, I said, man, well, I guess they just scream at each other when they're talking. Right? They did, they just scream at each other. It's like no type of, no respect for people around them. It's spit flying out. It's like, dude, I don't think everybody wants to hear your conversation. Can you step outside for a second? You scaring the children. You know what I mean? And then you got, oh yeah, girl, she ain't fit to tell me this. And I'm sometime in the line, and I'm starting to feel like the Karens now, the white Karens. Like, can you please just shut up? Seriously. No one wants to hear your whole conversation. Some people think that's real. They've fallen into the thing where I'm just real. That's just me. That's not real. That's actually real disrespectful. Real, like, no regard for the rest of the people who's around here. And you're making us look very bad. See? You're making us look very bad. And let me tell you, and I don't want people to think I'm talking down on I got people who from Africa in my family. I have people from Ghana in my family and Nigeria. I do. But I'm going to keep it real with them too. I'm sorry to tell you. They know I will. We don't need you to be extra loud around this thing. Okay? Calm it down a little bit. Just because you from Africa, you think this is your world. It's not. It's God's world. There's other people around this thing. And then you get the white people looking at you like, that's your brother. That's not mine. That's your brother. That's your black brother. You know what I'm saying? It just make us look bad. So let's follow what the Bible says right here. Let's go to verse 6. Be in peace with many. You're not going to be in peace with many. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm talking like that. People going to think you crazy. Nevertheless, but have one counselor of 1,000. Some of you have too many people you're getting advice from. And the wrong people. Your homegirl cannot give you advice. I'm sorry to tell you. Usually an older man who you can tell who's living a righteous life is really going to give you the best advice. Or older sister, you have to look at their works though. You have to know them by their fruit. If you see them living a life you're trying to live, that's really the best people to get advice from. What we have in our churches, we have area leaders, right? So each of my people have an area leader who they're governing over, just like the wilderness. This person's over hundreds, this person's over thousands, this person's over whatever, 50s. And they can call them and get counsel to nurture them. If it's something they can't handle, I can handle it. If it's something I can't handle, I got a regional. If it's something they can't handle, we hit up Elder Rawchaa. Right? You can't have your homegirls or your homeboys who tells you what you want to hear. Even sometimes your mamas will tell you what you want to hear, my sisters. Or sometimes the dads, some of these dads these days are so weak, they will tell their daughter some crazy stuff. And you be like, brother, what? Or I accept my son because he's a part of the rainbow gang now. I seen it all. I don't know what's going on with the men, but just saying. You can't receive counsel from people. If you want to get into this actual kingdom of heaven, don't receive counsel from people who's not living that life. Unless you can tell that they can give you that counsel. If you're getting, we're not talking about like things like actual general things. Like if you need some counsel from a mechanic over a car, go to a mechanic. You're not going to a mechanic for godly advice. You're going to a mechanic for mechanics of a car or a vehicle. You guys have to understand the difference. Okay? We're talking about spiritual things here. Relationships. Because we're going to actually go to the Bible to give you the scriptures of what the Bible actually says. Yeah, I've seen dudes out there now, fathers accepting their sons, turning. I mean, goodness, man, I've seen this a lot now. I'm accepting him. I have to love him anyway. Like, dude, do you know what happened to these people in the past? No offense, but they can repent and turn away. They can. They can come and get water if they repent. But just accepting something that's not in the Bible, you can't put that on God. He doesn't tempt men. Right? So, verse 7, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first. Prove her first. Be patient. You giving a life story with somebody you meet the first night, you on the phone for hours with this person. Y'all think y'all relate now. What you've just given them is when you guys actually finally go through the hard times, fuel to go against you. We all get, I'm gonna meet this girl. Yeah, we have, we got so much in common. And that's whether you meet, somebody you trying to date and all that too. We got so much in common. No, you don't. You trying to relate so you can fornicate. Or when you get a friend, guess what? You're relating and then you getting arguments and cat fights down the line. You got to take that time for that person to earn that information. Okay? Because then you might not be able to mend that thing back together. You may have to be at peace, but now you may never be able to have that type of friendship again. You got to be careful. So listen to the Bible here in the wisdom of Sirach. If thou wouldest get as a friend, prove him first, or her, obviously, and be not hasty to credit him. Time proves all things. In time. With time comes trials, tribulations, variables, right? All types of things. Where your friend needs some money, they're gonna see if you're gonna be there, when they need help moving or whatever the case may be. If they need to call you late at night to talk, whatever the case may be. When they need you the most is what I'm saying. Obstacles is going to come in the way. Let's see if you're going to be that friend through the thick and the thin. And I got friends who was in the streets when I needed $20 because I can only last for gas throughout the week with $20 or something. Let me tell you, we all have some hard times. Man, cartel, man, I need $20, kinfolk. You got me? And when he needed, I was there. I need that thing real quick, man. I'm about to ride on somebody. You got me? I'm just saying that's how I was in the past. But now, we need to do things in a righteous manner. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I need, you need each other in these moments, and the friend that's going to be there for you, they're proven through these tribulations and these trials that we may go through, these obstacles, life experience. Okay? So, where are we? Verse 8, for some man, a friend, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of trouble. Now, we all know someone who's like this, even in the truth sometimes. We don't want to give people bad names, but this is our own fault for befriending people too easy. People are on different levels. It's some people you see when people have, it's like people have two names. They got their regular name and then their truth name. You think as a person got the truth title on them, that they just changed overnight. They haven't. They're fighting demons just like you. You just get further. They're either going to stay stagnant or theirs might be a little slower pace. But you was expecting, see, this is another thing we have to learn. Don't expect too much out of people. Expect them to be who they are. Expect that so you won't be hurt. Don't give too many high expectations so you will not get hurt. That's why I tell you, just let time proves all things. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of it. You have to let it go through its course, is what I'm saying. Okay? Let me give me a little mint here. Give me a little mint. I'm talking a lot. This thing is powerful. You don't want to put the whole thing in your mouth. Your mouth be burning. Yeah. Woo. That's better than that double mint gum with all that garbage in there. This is food grade mint. So here we go. There is a friend, and there is a friend who being turned to true enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. See that? There's a friend who will be turned to enmity when you get into it, and strife will discover your blame. All your things you told him in that first conversation that you was on for an hour. Yeah, girl, I know all her business. See, yeah, girl, let me tell you how she really got that. And this, oh, yeah, let me tell you about this. Girl, I got the whole cup of tea. Oh, yeah, you want me to spill the tea? I got the tea, girl. And then the girls is moving the fingers that the Bible say don't do, and it was in Isaiah. As they go, they twisting their fingers like they gangbanging or something. This is our sisters. I'm going to tell you the whole thing. I hope you rest for me today. Sisters have created a whole new language out here. So you have to be careful not to just get too close too fast. Well, I don't know if I should get close because the elders told me. No, it ain't what the elders say, what the Bible say. Take your time. You don't have to actually tell someone that when you're trying to become their friend. I'm just saying. Okay? I mean, I personally can't stand how people does this to each other though. Even if you did fall, I'm like, don't betray or don't betray your friend, or just put their secrets out there that they put that to you. Even if they didn't have enough wisdom, why would you do that to someone? That's just not right. That's just not right. That's almost impossible to mend a situation like that a lot of times. Okay? So, again, verse 10, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of affliction. So when you're doing good and you're up, oh yeah, man, you remember? Yeah. Oh, they all happy. They congratulating you because you're doing it big. And then when you start going down, they're nowhere to be found. So a lot of people like that. Well, oh man, hey man, remember back in days you can ask even people in the world for $20, they might have it. You got some people in your family or friends, you ask them for $5. Oh man, I ain't got it. It's black people. Oh man, I ain't got it. $10. Oh man, I ain't got it. Here it is, you come to people in the truth. People in the truth will give you everything, but still, you still have to prove the relationships. Because you have some people who will actually come into this knowing the people in the truth will help them a lot. And they make this thing like, oh yeah, man, I ain't never had family like this. We family forever, huh? You gonna pay my bills too? Listen, my baby, she needs some socks, diapers, she needs Pampers. Matter of fact, I like them little earrings right there. Can you get them for me too? This is people who comes into the truth making friends like this. And they don't want to work no more because they love the family and the truth. Everything supposed to be for free because we black people in the truth. We find out we Israelites. Everything supposed to be discounts. Elder, you ain't got no discounts on your site. And please, people, stop coming to my site saying Shalom. I have a corporate professional site. This is not some mom and pop thing. No offense. But I'm selling to all nations. You sitting here coming on this thing talking about Shalom, Elder, good lesson last night. I'm like, this is not the place for that. You don't leave a review putting Hebrew terms and all. You're going to scare my customers off. If you love me, don't do that. Please be professional. Why do I have to tell Hebrews this thing? Are you going to work saying that? I hope not. Just because you got in the truth, you're going around telling all the white people Shalom. I mean, you're going to be fired next week. Please. Father, have mercy. So if I go in there and have to edit your comment or your review because you said these things, please don't be offended. I have other people who I'm trying to help as well. It's not our only job to help Israel. It's to help any people from you're dealing with ailments. So I just want to throw that out there. Please don't send communication to the customer service saying Shalom, because what if I have some people there who don't even know what that thing means? I just be like, I talk with the elders. I'm like, our people listen to all these lessons. They don't get wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove, do they? And then you got some people who actually comes to there and have the nerve to have an attitude. I don't know if they're in the truth that long. So what I'll do, hey, you know what? Take your supplement back, and guess what? I'm going to give you the money. We refuse your service. Please don't shop with me anymore. It's not about the money. I'm going to give you my money. The Most High seeing what I'm doing. I'm going to give you my money. And guess what? You can have that supplement for free. Don't ever shop with us anymore. You want to be rude. You're lucky I'm not in your face right now. See? Or you're lucky I don't know who your area leader is. So I could call them up and let them know, who is this person who does not know how to act? This is how you treating people in Christ who have not done anything to you? So I digress from that, but I want to put these things out there. You don't know me like that. And that's not Christ. Anyway, but in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be bold over your servants. So you have to be careful feeling sorry for some people you let in your house, because they would come in and all of a sudden, what you cooking today? Yeah, you gonna make me some of them? Oh yeah, put that hot sauce on there for me too, you don't mind. And then the husband's looking at this dude like, yeah. She didn't even put no hot sauce on my stuff. No. And your homegirl come through, you just trying to help her out. You can't help her out around your husband, because now she want to wear too comfortable clothing around your man. And now he trying not to look. He like, I saw you looking. And now you got to tell her, pull her to the side and say, heifer, don't you wear them type of clothes with my husband, or you're going to be out the next day. I brought you in because you didn't have nothing. I was trying to be an Abramite. And let you in and show some charity. But guess what? You see, you came into the wrong. You know how y'all talk. You came into the wrong today. Oh, there go that Israelite daughter of Zion and left. See? But that's your fault. You can't blame her. You want to let her in your house because you felt sorry. You want to let people in your zone where they're going to mess your zone up. I can help you with this, but I can't help you with that. You know you done it too many times where it's going to, you sitting there arguing with your husband now or your wife because we got to use wisdom. Okay? Use wisdom. Verse 12. If you be brought low, he will be against thee and will hide himself from your face, because he was only using you, this person. She or he was only using you while you were up. And will hide himself from your face. Separate yourself from thine enemies. Some of us even come into this truth in the beginning, and all your friends turn their back on you. And you look back, I thought they was my friends. No, they were friends of the world. My sister, my brother. Now they calling you crazy because you really was separate from them the whole time. You see, a lot of us think that we can be friends with certain people who worship idols and Gentiles and certain people in the world. They're not your actual real friends. These are people you just have to talk to and deal with every day. But let's be honest, when a line is drawn, they're going to go to their gods in their world, and you're going to go to yours. But for now, keep it peaceful, never knowing if you're going to convert somebody. Huh? Yeah. Be peaceful with all men, because you never know if you can convert somebody until the line is drawn. But it's still certain lines you got to draw before the big line, so you don't compromise yourself with your God. All right? Separate yourself from thine enemies and take heed of your friends. Some of your enemies are right by you and you don't even know it. You know light and darkness don't go together. Now, there's a way to be an ambassador when you're coming around your family, because that's your family. But if you're hanging around certain people, they're going to start, you think you better than us. I mean, your family will do it too, but you have to know what is what to do where, when to do what, how to do it, according to Scripture. Separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed, or be careful for which kind of friends you call friends. See, I don't focus on this thing about trying to find some friends personally. Because in the truth, I got a bunch of brothers and sisters, aunties and uncles, and people who's like fathers. I don't really go around trying to find friends. I got brothers. All my brothers is in the truth. Rock is not my friend. He's my brother. Ramar is my brother. These are not my friends. These are my brothers. So I personally don't really just look for friends. I know what the Bible says about friends, but I'm not going on my way trying to find a friend. I know time is going to prove who's my friend or brother or sister anyway. I know that time will prove that. Some of you put a title on something too much and then you upset yourself. I thought you was my friend. She has to be a helpmeet to her husband. She can't come out with you every day, sister. She got to do what her husband says. And all of a sudden, she not your friend. Are you part of the Rainbow Gang or something? She can't be with you every day. She has a husband. It's time for you to get up in the scriptures and find you some Bible games or something. Because she can't be your confidant. She done got married now. Every now and then she might be able to go out to eat. They invite you over or you invite them. But I'm just saying. We have to remember these things. Don't be selfish. A faithful friend is a strong defense. And he that has found such an one found a treasure. You know someone who's going to be down for you the whole way? You know someone like that, don't you? Is it many of them? Be honest. You know someone who's down for you the whole way? Is it many of them? Be honest. No. Don't you let them go, the Bible's saying. They're not trying to judge you in every matter, whatever the case may be. They know who you are when you're. If someone had made you angry, they like, hold up, nobody make this person angry. I know what's going on with them. See? A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that had found such a one have found a treasure. If someone's going through something and they need you to the utmost, and you know they don't got it right now, but you know they're a faithful, true friend, open that bag for them. Open that bag for them. Because guess what? When they come up, you come up. When you're down and they're up, you come back up. Sometimes the Most High tests us like that anyway, to see if you're only doing things when it's sufficient for you. You're up, your friend's down, like, oh man, you're going to be all right. Be thou, I'm going to pray for you to be thou clothed, but I never give you no clothes. I'm going to pray for you to get a ride, but when I can offer you a ride, I don't offer you a ride. See? Let me tell you, these are true friends. These are true friends, man. Verse 15. Nothing doeth a countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life. I knew you was going to come through for me, brother. I appreciate it, my sister. Instead of the other people looking at your downfall, you're no different than a demon. Only demons look on people's downfall, people. Humans are not supposed to look on a person's downfall. That's not, the Most High didn't make us like that. That's a demon. You sitting over there, yeah, man, they probably was happening because you remember when they did that time? Yeah. And you could be right, but it's not the time to look on someone's downfall. I know how that feels because I tell you guys some of my crazy stories. Can't say everything on here, but I tell you guys some of my crazy stories how I've looked my enemies face to face. Where I got 50 people with guns in the parking lot. And I made sure that they had them because we shot a video that night. And I backed up. And the person who was trying to kill me, and unfortunately, yes, I'm playing defense. That's how I can say it on here. I had him in the palm of my hands that night. But I didn't have it in here to do it. And I got 50 people literally. If you think I'm lying, I'm out of there. I had 50 people ready. That's just how we rolled in the South. We call it mobbing. And that night had the whole Crips and Bloods neighborhood in there happy because we had done something someone never did when it comes to this music. And I seen my enemy and I said, man, I should have been following this truth. I should have accepted it when I first saw it. And I just knew I was being hunted like Paul, like you're supposed to be doing this, brother. And so my options was take him out, might get caught, go to prison, whatever the case may be, thinking I was going to be able to rap and do the truth at the same time. That's what I was thinking a long time ago when some of you new truth artists still trying to do that. I thought that when I was really doing this thing. And you can tell his heart sunk because he seen when he backed up, that whole parking lot was filled with me's. And Malak was there that night. He can vouch for what I'm telling you. So, and Cartel's sitting in the car with me like Suge Knight and Tupac. Like, what we gonna do, King? And, you know, I don't remember exactly what I said that night, but I remember we just let him go. And if he was gonna go in that club or whatever, you know, I was just gonna play defense, but I wasn't gonna finally do something because I kind of started learning that Bible that I should probably take another way. So I said that to say, you know, even though Cartel was that person like we reading here, a faithful friend is a medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso fear the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. Cartel was that person, he had asthma. So he would, you know, he would use that tool. It's not that he couldn't fight, because we fought some people together, but so he wouldn't get his asthma so he couldn't breathe. He just used that tool. And when he's telling me to stop, that's when you know it's like, yeah, that's a good friend. So that's what we reading right here. People who is going to tell you the real in this truth. When you're doing something wrong and they got to pull you to the side like, boy, come here. You know you can't do this, man. What you doing? Now, if you keep playing and acting stupid, guess what? I done told you once, I done told you twice, that's going to be on you. But, you know, you got some friends or some sisters who are going to tell you some real stuff to help you. Right? Let's go to 7 and 18. Man, these geese outside acting crazy right now. Yeah, we got some new geese. They acting crazy. They ain't attacking nobody. So, duties to families and friends, very similar. Change not. So this is Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and 18. We're almost done here. Change not a friend for any good, by no means. Neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. So we just read that, right? Don't exchange money for your friend like these celebrities do, sacrificing one another. They care about money and power. And when you read in the Testament of Solomon, there's an actual demon named Power. Wink, wink, to show power. Okay? So I'm just telling you guys, like, these people do these things to their friends and their family for fame and glory. Don't you be that person like the world. 19. Forgo not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. So now we're talking about relationships with friends and family. If you got you a good woman, man, don't be a fool. Sometimes we as men, we got a good woman, knowing she gonna do everything you say, and then you want to cheat on her. That's not right. Don't be like that. Once you come into this Bible, put those worldly ways away. You know you got a good woman. You know she gonna be at home, and because you know she gonna be at home, you think you can go out to play. That's not right. That's no honor. You have no honor for yourself, your wife, your children, or your God. And if you're like that, that means you would deal with someone else's wife. If you're like that, that means you don't appreciate this woman. So men and women, we have to be like this. But right now we're talking about a woman, okay? And a man appreciating her. And so I don't need the Jezebels to come on here. See, you see what elders, see, I knew what he was finna say. And so she already got in her mind what I'm finna say, because everything that you got some Jezebels on here who actually, they are the one doing wrong, but all of a sudden they hear this one scripture that fits what they trying to say in their mind to attack their husband. Don't be like that, my Jezebels. Turn from Judas and Jezebels, please. This is talking about a man appreciating a virtuous woman, not a Jezebel. Unfortunately, Jezebels, you can't appreciate a Jezebel. She was trying to kill the prophets. I'm sorry. All right? So, and you know, I'm going to tell you, Sister Son, when it comes, Isaiah says, when you're talking, calm down. If you stop from pointing forward the finger and doing all of this, I can read it for you in Isaiah. It knew in 2024 what you was going to be doing. The last Jubilee, the sisters going to have the Cardi B nails pointing to the finger. You pointing the finger at everybody, blaming everybody but yourself, and you pointing the finger however you be doing this. All this crazy mess. You want to be a pleasant woman? Just put your hands like this. Yes. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you can validate yourself like that. You know? You got hot coffee in your hands. You so used to pointing the finger, you don't waste coffee on yourself. Lord. Anyway, verse 20. Where is thy servant? Work it truly. Treat him not evil, nor the hireling that bestowed himself wholly for thee. So if you have a servant that's working hard for you, appreciate him. Even if you go to a restaurant, for example. Some of you are so cheap to tip. I done spent all this money in the restaurant. They still want me to tip. Well, to whom much is given, much is required. If you want to go to an expensive restaurant as a man, listen, one, you worked hard to deserve to do it. But you also have to understand to put yourself in that position that certain things come with different territories, guys. I'm just saying. And some woman gonna look at you and just stay quiet like, that nigga cheap. Now, if you went to a place where it's like they just hand you a burger real quick, there's no tip that's needed there. I'm sorry. If you just want to give one, cool. But if you went somewhere and you wine and dine and you sat down and you've been there over 30 minutes, it's like someone's literally doing a good job, cool. Now, if they ain't doing a good job, that's what you call a manager or whatever the case may be, or you don't give them a tip. But that's very rare depending on where you go. We have to start knowing where we go. Okay? I mean, things are hard out here. So if you know, for me, if I spend $100, what's the big deal about spending an extra $10-20 for me if I went to eat a place? It's like, man, you know, this is charity as well for a person. If I was working this job, is what I'm saying. You know, sometimes I'm tipping people $30, whatever. I mean, if they did a good job and they warm my heart and my wife or my children, I want to show appreciation because I'd rather not somebody spit in my food. But we should just realize, like, going into a kingdom of kings and queens is not about how much money you can spend or showing how much money you have, but it is appreciation for people who's trying to serve you in the best capacity. That's what verse 20 is talking about. You have a servant you hired around to do your garden or cut your grass. Don't be rude talking about, oh yeah, I need you to get right here. Oh yeah, you know, right there. And it's like, ma'am, you didn't pay me for all that now. All right. So, let's go to 22. A relationship with your animals. You have to be responsible. You have animals. You can't just get an animal to say how many animals you have, and then you're going to lose all your animals. Okay? Now, you can get the ones that kind of halfway take care of themselves, but you're still going to have to go out every now and then to, you know, spray permethrin on them, making sure they don't have flies. You understand? Making sure you give them their dewormers, making sure that they're okay. Making sure if they have a baby or whatever the case may be. If you can't do it, you hire somebody to do it, or you get your butt down there with some gloves on, try to help them with that baby. It's just what it is. Okay? As our cattle. Have an eye to them, and if they be for thy profit, keep them with thee. Cows, sheep, goats, chickens. Take care of them. Okay? I mean, the chickens get me a lot of eggs, boy. I can tell you right now, especially when the spring and summertime, lots of eggs. Better take care of them chickens. They are feeding you. Take care of your plants. Make sure they have water. They are feeding you. Now, after a while, some things will take care of themselves to a certain degree. Like these geese around here, they just go around eating the blades of grass. I still feed them every now and then, but they eat the bugs. I mean, some things are going to take care of themselves. But no wonder they were chasing the Edomites' place I got them from. They were chasing his children because I seen when I went over there, his little Edomite kid was hitting the dog, this big old dog with a rock. And if that dog wanted to bite his tail, he would have. Now I see why those geese was chasing them. They don't be chasing us over here. But anyway, I'd drop kick them if they try to chase me. I can tell you right now. Anyway, has thou Okay, verse 23. Your relationship with your children. Can't be too nice. Can't be over emotional where it becomes abuse. You got to be strict, stern, disciplined according to the Bible. Because if you have spoiled brats and you're naming them, yeah, you're going to be named Isaiah. You're going to be named Jeremiah. And guess what? They're evil as the devil. The Bible says, I don't care how many children you have. If they evil, so what? You guys think just because you have children that let me tell you, they need to be disciplined and structured. These are still souls that demons can enter. So if you don't keep them in line, you can name him Isaiah all you want to. That don't mean that's who he's going to be. I'm sorry. You can name him the most biblical name ever. Don't mean he's going to be that. I don't get us with this thing. It's cool to surname ourselves after Israel, but you need to make sure that it's going to be a righteous kid. Some of us think just because you got into the truth, your children all of a sudden they're going to just be perfect. Man, you better put that belt on their behind and punish them how you're supposed to. What you think this is? They ain't going to be too much different than you were. And if people don't like you because you was a spoiled brat, expect your people not to like them because they now going to think they're a spoiled brat because you're not doing what the Bible says. Because I'm just sorry. I'm not having children running around me playing all over the place without control. That means something at home is not being done right. I can look at my daughter. It's not saying she ain't going to cry and get her butt whipped and every now and then. But guess what? I can look at her, my 2-year-old, and look like you better chill. And she's going to chill. If you can't do that, you got some work to do. I'm sorry to tell you right now. Children running around, they can't tell their children to stop. What are you talking about? Where they do that at? I make her look like the Most High. Period. Now, maybe you don't have a man in the house, but that's not going to be an excuse. You should have did was pick the right man. Now you have to go through these things. But the Bible can help you. Your elder is telling you right now, you better get on it. Because I'm gonna stop your child. I don't care who you are. If your child is coming around here all over the place acting crazy, I'm gonna be like, where's your daddy? You need to go with your daddy. Where's your mama? You need to go with your mom. Period. This is what elders do. We keep our nation, we keeping grown-ups in line, we definitely gonna keep the children in line. And I'm going to tell you something real. I know we Israelites, so we never have to take it this far. But when I was in Egypt, these people will be so racist more than Edomites. The Hamites would be more racist than the Edomites. In real talk, I would go in the store and their kids would just look at us, my children, like they're beneath them and all that. And their children would try to hit my children, do all type of stuff. And I used to have to pull some Egyptians to the side and say, listen, pull my belt off. If you don't whip them, then I will. Because I'm not the parent you're going to play with and your children going to do that to mine. I'm a different breed. I'm from a different time. And this happened multiple times. When I make them smell my cologne, that's when they tell their children, they roll that basket away. This brother is crazy. Yes, I am off the Boys in the Hood. The people who you seen on Boys in the Hood, that's me. So, you know, these people used to be able to call our children a B word, all type of stuff, say the F word. And I remember one day I had to go somewhere in a rush. And they walked by and said that to my children. My children are not learning this bad language. So I said, okay, I can't leave right now, but I know where I seen you at. I went to their parents' house and knocked on that door. And I had to tell them about their kid. And I had to tell them, let me tell you something. If your children come around cursing my children out again, I'm going to put my hands on you. So you might want to check your kids. I had a person throwing their leftovers down my window. And it kept coming in my window. Oh boy, ask me in Malak. That dough got kicked in with that broomstick. See, y'all don't know. It's only so much. I kept cleaning the mess. And I'm like, where is this stuff coming from? Because in Egypt, they just throw trash. They just throw trash everywhere. It's filthy. Right? You got to go to the little few nice parts that they do have. I just kept having somebody's leftovers come. I'm like, what is this sour smell? Opening my window, and I told them to please stop. to the point where I actually had to move because I'm like, I'm really going to have to put my hands on these people because I've told the security ain't do nothing. I went to the police ain't do nothing. Police won't even do nothing because you black. So I had to, hey, knock on that door. They had it cracked. Yeah. How y'all doing today? I got this broomstick right here. What's going on? I see you throwing these, and they act like they don't know what's going on. So I had to just move, man. I had to just move. They gonna have me in an Egyptian prison somewhere. So keep your kids in line. Because if you don't, God will. If you don't, their name can be Isaiah, Jeremiah, Exodus. I don't care what you call them. They can have the most beautiful name ever. Don't forget the wilderness. You think just because you dress your son up like a prince, you need to make him be a prince. To whom much is given, much is required. Okay? So, hast thou children? Instruct them. Bow down their neck. Bow down their neck. Huh? From their youth. I start early. Can't tell you how early I start. Ain't your business, but I start early. It's a transition. Before you know it, they intelligent. Yes, sir. Everybody got to know. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Even so, let me tell you, they be so scared. You calling me? Yes, ma'am. What you say? Oh, yes, sir. They be 1 year old. Let me tell you, they be ready to go though. They go on their feet, sit down. You ain't running around. You ain't gonna embarrass me. And run around who? Please. You're a prince. You're a king. We have self-control. Unless you want to dance to a little concert, that's different. Anyway, hast thou daughters? Have a care of their body. And show not thyself cheerful toward them, because they're going to get smart with you. They're going to think that they're your friends. And you're going to have to let it be known. You know I'm your daddy, right? Don't you play with me like that. Don't talk to me like that. All right? Don't let me tell you right now, I'm not the one. Because you're going to be around here with me and your mama and not be able to get married. And guess what? That's an embarrassment in Israel. Until you learn to get right for a husband, you'll be here staying like a grown woman being talked to like a child because you acting like one. Learn that kitchen. Learn to cook. Make sure they got flavor in that food. Hey, mind your business. Make sure you dress with your right attire. Make sure that rump ain't showing. When men coming around, make sure you dress right. Make sure you work out and don't ever stop working out. Okay? For your health and so you could have self-confidence. And for your husband, make sure you can speak eloquently, respectful, and guess what? You'll be ready for a man. That's just what it is. You see, a man prepares to give his legacy to his son. But he gives his daughter to a man. And she helps that man to give his legacy to that boy. That's how this thing goes, if you didn't know. Okay? That's how it goes for Israelites. You give her to someone who's going to take care of her in your stead how you did. And I got some good brothers who love me and my daughters. And my Deacon Malak just as crazy as me, if not crazier. And he know how to work that sword. I don't know if you ever seen him. I don't know if you've been taking his classes, boy. Let me tell you right now, that boy been shooting for 300 yards. Bing, bing, bing. He ain't going to be able to run too far. He been knowing how to work that thing since he was a kid. So, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just saying. You don't need your nickname to be Scar off of Lion King. So they gonna have to be warriors and respectful men to marry mine, and honor and humility. Okay? So you can't be no bum to marry my daughters. It just ain't gonna work out for you. I don't care how good you feel inside, how humble. Let me tell you, come with it, bruh. And let me tell you, you can't be a clown. So let me tell you right now. Hey, listen, you better come with it. Humility can go a long way in hard work, man. You have to know that this is what you got to be embedded in this like they daddy. If you don't remind them of their daddy, just give it up. Just give it up. Because they don't make many men like us righteous men no more. They don't make many men like us righteous men no more. So if you're not bowing your children's neck down and they grow up and they try to marry one of these brothers' daughter, like, the men gonna be looking at them like, are you serious right now? No offense. Okay? So, marry your daughter, verse 25, and so shall thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding. See? I'm not giving her to a clown. She could say he cute all he want. I already told him. Let me tell you, you will marry somebody, look like one of these dudes off Amistad who gonna hold it down with a scar on their face before you just marry some pretty Drake cat who can't do nothing, who can't bust a grape, and who ain't really about this. He's just about himself in the mirror all day. Please. Please. We need men of the Most High with understanding to continue to build a righteous nation of the Most High. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you, I would break down if I was to marry my daughter to a wannabe. Dudes who want too hard to be in some position. And let me tell you, you can't be a clown. I'm gonna tell you right now, that ain't gonna be part of the contract. You can never turn to a clown. Or you gotta send her back. Oh, yeah. Verse 26. And you can't stay too far, so just in case I got to send that bow and arrow over there to you. I'm messing around, y'all. I'm just messing around. Y'all ain't seen me with that bow and arrow. I'm going to begin it, but it look like I keep hitting the bows out for some reason. I don't know why. Verse 26 says, Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not. But give not thyself over to a light woman, meaning your modern day women who are being promoted. Y'all know I'm messing with y'all. I'm just messing around. Got y'all laughing on this thing. I'm just messing around. Ooh, nice. Hast thou a wife after your mind? Meaning you have a woman after your same heart, your same mind. She seeks the Most High like you do. She's not praying against you when y'all pray. You don't have to beg her to pray. You know what I'm saying? She enjoys serving the Most High just like you. She's not like for herself, like complaining all the time. Because the Most High wife was Israel. And he did not like the murmuring. When we murmured as a people, we died. He killed us. So you think a righteous man is going to like his wife murmuring and things like that? That's going to be a very hard relationship. So this is a part of the relationships with others are talking about a relationship with a husband and wife. Appreciation for one another is very important, is what the Bible is saying here. We don't abuse people here. That's one thing we don't do. So, hey, if it's to the point where she like, listen, I'm gonna do with my thing, and hey, go do your thing. I seen that today online where, Shadiwa posted this thing on Facebook. She say, I want to go back to my baby daddy because he didn't have me cooking and all of this. We had maids and we had all of this, and the dude was being a simp. And like I said, hey, it's simpler to stop being a simp and send her away. Send her away, brother. You got it because she had a backside, and because she could do a weave right, because she could turn it, blue and yellow like the little troll dolls and all that. That's why you got it. But guess what? She was cooking them some vegan tacos or something. What she put black beans and cauliflower, that stuff that give you all that gas. Yeah, she was cooking up some cauliflower tacos with some burnt rice. And it's like, hey, be careful who you pick out there. We got women's classes where these sisters can teach these young women how to cook if they mamas or they grandmamas or they whoever didn't teach them how to cook. So be careful and be patient for that first. Ask her if she can cook first, and when you're courting, hey, don't just go to a restaurant with the chaperone. Hey, maybe go to a family house and see if she can cook some at her family house and see if that thing got some salt on there. See if that thing got some flavor. Or if she just make you some microwave nachos, how you take the Doritos and you take the Velveeta ain't even real cheese. She just take a Velveeta and heating it up in the microwave and talking about this I seen this on YouTube. I'm like, listen, I don't care about no YouTube. I need some MeTube. I mean, listen, we good on all that. You gave me some MSG chips with something that's lab-made cheese, put it in the microwave, and put some ground beef on it. That's a new age hamburger helper, but just with chips. Come on now. So don't give yourself over to a light woman, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get a light diet with some, he said, I'm from the country. We don't eat like this. It's cauliflower. You're going to get you a light woman who can give you a light taco. Okay? Anyway, because she's supposed to make your bones fat. That's what the Bible say. And I'm not talking about obese. Okay? I ain't talking about obese. I'm talking about she's supposed to keep you solid. Not just with salad. That ain't enough. Honor thy father. You ain't going to be able to take a hit all you eat salad. I'm going to tell you the truth. Y'all brothers, you will not be able to take a hit if all you eat is salad. I'm going to tell you right now. If you get in the training, you're going to get 8 alive. Okay, you only eat salad. I want to see you be able to take one of these punches, because people who eat meat can barely take some punches. You eat salad, you're going to get blown through. You better eat, bruh. It's going to come a time where you got to do all that. Okay? It's a famine coming anyway. You're going to be eating grass anyway. No, I'm just playing. You going to, like Christ said, why you got Hebrews walking around, these people don't fast like that. Guess what? Some people need to fast when they need to, but it's going to come a time where everybody forced to fast. There's going to be some dark days coming. Eat, get you some strength while you can. But when you need to get the parasites and them spiritual demons out of you better fast. But please don't be a two-pick. You ain't going to be able to handle nothing. You can't rescue nobody. Like, that salad doing you good, huh? You couldn't carry her, to be less than a quarter mile. Come on, brother. Get on them pull-ups and them push-ups. Let's go. Huh? Honor thy father with thy whole mind or heart. And forget not the sorrows of thy mother. Everything she been through to bear us. Everything she went through to have us in that stomach and birth us. Don't forget the mama. Mama might not have been perfect, but make sure you show mama that love, because women, especially who's not in the truth, they don't know everything. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Learn how to be an ambassador to where your mother at least respects the fact that you appreciate her. That's what's most important, guys. Trust me when I'm saying, you want to do this, what I'm telling you. You want to do this. Okay? Respect your parents. I mean, they may not have been perfect in every little thing, but I'm going to tell you, show them Christ. Don't show them blame. Blame does not help anything. If you need to have a real conversation with them, you can still do it in respect and say, hey, if we're going to have a relationship, let it be a real relationship. If not, I don't want it. But if it's going to be real, let's do it, whatever. Remember that thou wast begotten of them, and how can thou recompense them the things that they have done for thee? How can you pay them back the things that they have done for you? With money only? Pay them back with love, appreciation. Give them a gift every now and then. When it comes, a lot of times, our feast days, I will send my mother a gift, because not only that, it keeps her in remembrance of what's going on with our feast days here, instead of just forcing something down her throat. Women love gifts. Fathers love gifts, especially women. When someone thinking about the mom, boy, listen, it make her day. Mom don't need much to make her day, guys. Take her out to eat every now and then. Show her whatever she was able to do, that it paid off. We get caught up with knowing the truth, and we just got to go around swinging a sword, cutting everybody. The sword is not meant to cut everybody, guys. It's meant to cut demons. It's meant to cut spirits. We're using the sword to teach them how to use it. Don't go hurt them with the sword. You know they got butter knives. What you gonna pull that double-edged sword out on their butter knife for? That ain't right. You be boom. You be ready to go at your folks, man. So just take it easy. We all have done it before. And some people, you just have to leave be. There's some situations out there, I'm not going to lie, where people are like, well, Elder, I can't do that to mine. And listen, there's some situations out there where I understand. I have to be able to speak general to the people, though. It will be no way I can actually cure every situation with the scriptures. There's going to be some people out there who are who they are, guys. I understand that. But pray for them. We're about honor with Christ, respect. All right. 11 and 29. We almost done here. Almost done. 11, Ecclesiasticus 11 and 29. Once again, the dangerous men, the lying men, the men who will steal from you, kill you, murderers. You can't save everybody. The Most High is not even saving all the children of Israel. Listen, I am racist. I prefer my own, but listen, I don't prefer my own who's evil. I can tell you that. You see? You got some people that's worse than the Gentiles of our own people, who will kill you worse than the Gentiles of your own people. So it's about right and wrong here. It's not about color. Family has to choose to be family. That's why Jew and Gentile can get into the kingdom of heaven. Obviously, the Gentiles will have their own lands, and the kingdom of heaven itself, yes, the Jews will be there, but they will still be able to have their souls saved and live in their own lands like it was in the beginning. Okay? But I don't care just because this is your black brother. What does the Bible say right here? Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man had many trains, many tricks up his sleeve. Yeah, that's my brother. Some of your brothers be human trafficking your people. Some of your own people be doing this. So I don't get what this thing about crying every time the cops is whooping somebody's tail. Some people need their tail whipped. I'm not saying everybody does. But some people didn't get their tail whipped by their parents, so the world is whipping it now. So if you don't whip your kids, sometime the world will do it. There's some people who belongs in prison. There is. I'm not the person to judge to say who. But there's some people, when they do some weird, unlawful, crazy, elite, off the chart stuff, where do you expect them to be? Walking around free like they're trying to make these new laws for them to do? Heck no. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man had many trains. Like as a partridge, take it and kept in a cage, so is the heart of the proud. And like a spy which watcheth for thy fall. Okay? For he lieth in wait and turneth good into evil. And things worthy praise he will lay blaming upon thee. So they're always trying to find something wrong. Even when you're trying to do good, they try to make something wrong. You ever met people like this? This is people who be in the truth like this too. You're trying to make peace. They still want to find something wrong. Because they really don't like you. They really hating on you. They're really hating on you. That's why I tell you, you be getting all upset because you're trying to force friendship. You should expect it that people were on different levels. Hang with those who are in your like mind for now until they come on that level. Don't make cliques and groups. You still treat people with respect. Still give charity to people. But what I'm saying is, Why would you cast your pearls before swine? There's even people who's on different levels. If you're up here spiritually, why would you expect the person down here to actually be able to understand you yet? You must condescend to men of low estate when you're around them in the gatherings and balance it out, just weights and just measures. But when in your personal time, you don't want people to spy out your liberties, because you'll have a young person just coming to the truth. They come to your house, see you understanding grace, making some tea on the Sabbath, frying an egg on the Sabbath. And they like, well, I thought we wasn't supposed to make a fire. Are you simple as a days old? You just read Jubilees and got, let me tell you, the cornerstone of all of the building is Christ. Those were the building blocks upon to the time of Christ, people. Jubilees, we was in the wilderness. We wasn't even in the land of Israel yet. They had to go pick up sticks. Let me tell you, to start a fire, you know how hard it is to start a fire with sticks? It's not easy. You gotta, they were talking about this on the Sabbath, Elder Lawya and Elder Rawchaa, or on Academy, I think. Or one of them, I forget, but it took a lot of work to make a fire, to keep the fire going. They had little logs and stuff that they would have already chopped, right? And then you got to slaughter the calf or whatever the case may be. They're talking about work. When they doing everything from scratch, this is work. The Most High wants us to rest, guys. And we're not talking about staring at a wall. This is what people are bringing their own righteousness to another person's house. I'm not going to be peeking in people's windows, seeing what they doing. Whatever their rest is, because their work schedule, whatever they're doing, that's on them. They'll deal with that with the Most High if they're going out their way to do wrong. But what I'm saying is, you can't go around telling people you read Jubilees and you're swaying people, or you can't bring burdens. Obviously, in the past, they couldn't carry water, because when you're carrying water on your head like the African people, that's heavy task to do. You turn the water on, man, they turn the water on. I had people telling us before, you can't bring the baby bags to class. You can't bring the strollers to class, all type of crazy stuff. And I told them, be careful for the book of Jubilees. Be careful. You must filter everything with Christ. Okay? You got to be careful. For he lieth in wait to turn good into evil, and things worthy praise he will lay blame upon thee. I'm doing good on the Sabbath. And like Christ was, this person finds something to say. Some people may have some type of health issue where they get ready to fall out, and they had a taco stand. They like, you know what? We can't let this brother fall out. Get this brother a taco real quick so he can go and preach the word of the Most High. He haven't eaten anything all day because he's just been that busy doing the work. Just get him a taco real quick so he can actually get his blood sugar from going low. Or sometimes they got sisters who makes little sandwiches and stuff for us sometimes. But what I'm saying is, you got people who just makes up anything. Anything you trying to do good, they just finding a way, not understanding. Guys, we are actually in captivity right now. We're not in the land of Israel where we had actual houses that the Canaanites had, fruit trees that was already done for us. We were in the wilderness before transitioning. Guys, do you know the journey from Egypt, the Exodus journey? Mount Sinai, transitioning, slowly going into the land of Israel. So Jubilees was for that time. You just made Jubilees the whole gospel now. That's not right. That's actually wrong. Okay? Just so you guys know. Anyway. Super Brews. Negro Lights. That's what you become. I got my fringes on, and let me tell you, I don't care about all that. I really don't. You can make it the best song in the world about it. Let's focus on Christ. So, people be like, why you don't care about the fringes? I don't care about the fringes, because the fringes didn't help us. People still be having the fringes on doing foolishness. The fringes just make me fly now. That's all they do. I wear Christ on my spirit, the Holy Spirit. That's what I wear. Okay? The beard ain't getting you in. Your dreads ain't getting you in. Your headscarf is not getting you in. You do it for the purpose of what God said for. You can have the best head wrap ever. Okay? So, of a spark of fire, a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man layeth wait for blood. So you have Judases in this thing. Be careful who you befriend. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon thee a perpetual plot. Receive a stranger into thine house, and he will disturb thee and turn thee out of thine own. You guys think we living in the time of Abraham, don't you? You think you living in the time of Abraham where you could just let strangers in your house. You ain't living in that time. Oh, I'm going to be like Abraham and just start letting strangers in. I told you what happened when I let this young man. He was cool with me, but he still was a stranger. And look at this dude. Want to be in my homeboy bathroom with no clothes on. Dude, what's going on with you? With the door open. We at work working. He getting comfortable. Negro, you better get out here and get a job just like me and him. The heck you think this is? He was out the same day. Please. You cannot let strangers in your house. We live in a different time. You have to protect your wives, your mothers, your grandmothers, your daughters. People out here is crazy. I'm going to let one of these Afghanis or these Ukrainians in my house because they're just out there with the homeless sign. Are you simple? Do you see what's going on out here? This is what happened to the Gadites. And yes, I'm one of them, but it happened to my people. We have this thing where we're just too nice and stuff like that. No, man. You have to have some speakers who's like, we not falling for your same tricks no more, dude. You are covenant breakers. Until you come into Christ and prove that you're following this thing and be under our people, we will not believe anything you say. You must prove yourself. You can be the nicest man in the world, but my forefather says that David said you break covenants. You're going to prove to me you don't break covenants. And guess what? We can get along just fine. I'm going to treat you just like a brother. But you better prove to me that you're not going to break this covenant, because my people will not suffer for you any longer. And I'm not blaming you for your forefather's sins, but I will believe in what my forefathers said, because they have never led us wrong unless they sinned. I'm sorry to tell you. What I know consistent with the Gentiles is they look out for their own first, and we don't. So somebody has to start doing it. I'm sorry to tell you. We can do business. We can love them the same way. If they can't accept the realness, so be it. Our God is going to put us in our kingdom anyway. We don't need some men. But if they want to hold it down and show that they with us, they can leave with us like the mixed multitude left from Egypt. But they have to respect that we're standing firm to hold down what's ours. So I got friends that's Edomites too, but I'm able to be real with them and to show love. And when my people do crazy stuff, I'm able to laugh about it with them. And when their people do crazy stuff, I'm able to laugh about it with them. It's certain things. I seen a post a day where this black dude went into the woods and seen a kangaroo. He come out there and said, man, I ain't going back in there. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm not going back in there. And he's saying a lot of foul language. I wish I could have played it on the show, but he's saying too much foul language. But it was hilarious. I know my people and they know their people. And that's okay. We have to be real about it. So let me go to the last scripture. And that's going to be in chapter 13 really quick. So is this... Hold on, I want to make sure. Hold on 1 second, guys. Did it start at verse 1? Let's see. 1 second. Ecclesiastes 13:1. Associate with those of your class, with people who are on your level. That's one thing I can respect about my old Nigerian friend. His parents had him studying, and they said, don't hang with people who ain't on your level. I didn't understand that at the time, but he let me hang with him because I was more humble. But I grew up in the hood. Usually his parents don't let him hang with people who grew up in the hood. I see why. Because all his friends betrayed him except for me. I learned a lot from him because his parents were rich. They worked hard to get what they got. I was able to ride in the Benzes and Jags with him and learn about different things that were not in my world. The type of thinkings and the type of attire that he dressed totally different. So that helped me. I appreciate him in the Most High because that helped me as a young man bring me to another level. Only people who was doing in my area, they was great sports players, but the only thing they wanted to do was be wannabes. They wanted to be hard, even though they were not really from the hood. They wanted to smoke a little weed and feel hard. Everyone who smoked weed felt like they were some type of Incredible Hulk for some reason when we were growing up. I'm like, brother, weed don't make you hard, literally. I mean, I don't know what you guys are thinking. That's that demon in you. That green you smoking, making you think you the Incredible Hulk. But that's how people grew up around me. You were a gangster if you smoked weed now. I'm like, you guys, have you ever been to South Park? This is where I'm from. Have you ever been to the North Side? A lot of them end up being criminals. They were nothing but a bunch of Drakes around here. And just to be quite honest, I knew their family. I knew how hard their mothers and fathers worked to get them to the good side of town finally. And these people turned this whole area to be like the hoods. They start killing people. A lot of people, I come back, people were killing themselves after they killed their girlfriends and for cheating on them and all. Let me tell you, they turned this place crazy to be like someone else. This is where I'm from, Southwest Houston. A bunch of wannabes. I grew up around all these high schools. We were very neighboring. I used to always be like, why do these people want to be thugs? Your family worked hard to get you, out of the hood. A bunch of wannabes who turned to nothing. So this is why the Most High said we have to appreciate the relationship with our parents so we live long. Because if you don't listen to your parents, you should not live long upon earth. You're going to follow and be underlings to stupid fools out here who going to get you in prison, dead, or in jail. And I went through some of these things, guys. So I know what I'm talking about. Appreciate your parents. Okay? Just because you got the truth, don't forget the stupid things you've done too. And the Most High forgiving us for all of them. So it's time for you to show that same love to your parents for still loving you, okay? Don't mean you got to sit down and pop that pig open with them, but I'm just saying. So, he that toucheth the pitch shall be defiled therewith. If you hang with the wrong crowd and you get arrested, you shouldn't have been hanging around them. I'm just saying the truth. You hang with the wrong crowd, somebody got some drugs on them or something like that, and you're a righteous person. I was trying to wake them up, and the person had crack on them. They had drugs on them. They had paraphernalia on them. You got caught with them, so now you're going down with them. Be careful. He that toucheth the pit shall be defiled therewith. Huh? Your home girl going out to the club, she got ecstasy on her. Huh? Yeah, just come out to the club for the last time. Hit this blunt for one more time. He that touches the pit shall be defiled therewith. That time now you hit that blunt, they got some wet on it, what we call wet embalmer fluid on it. So now you sitting at the bus stop, can't move. I've seen it in real life. I seen a famous $1 million rapper named Youngster. He was on a $1 million track. I came from high school one day. He started smoking that stuff. He was at the bus stop. I'm like, is that Youngster? Sitting there from smoking that embalmer fluid. He that toucheth the pit shall be defiled therewith. It will ruin your whole life. The Holy Spirit will have to leave you to your detriment because you did some foolishness too far. The Holy Spirit allows us to go through certain tests, and a righteous man may fall. Righteous man and woman gonna fall sometime, but they get back up. But if you go too far and the Holy Spirit leaves you, that's why we ask, what happened to that person? Why they never came back into the truth? When the Holy Spirit leaves you, there's only one chance to get salvation in this thing. You can't belittle a man who got on the cross for you through your actions. Because you're trying to still hang with the homies and be cool. You got people who comes into this truth, guys, and they think this is about the homies. This ain't about the homies. This is a serious, life-saving, soul-saving work. I don't care how good your song is. I'm not your homie. I'm your brother, and I'm trying to do this work in Christ. And if there's rank, you're gonna respect the rank. Period. And I'm saying, even if I wasn't an elder, I respect these men. Period. I respect the men of the Most High. This is not some homie thing. We were supposed to be like kings and queens, having honor. You can't be a peasant. Be a king, be a prince, be a queen, be a princess. Okay? Don't be an underling to fools, whether they be in the truth or out the truth. Okay? There's some people who don't take this work serious in the truth. They think because they do music that they're cool. We don't care about your talent like that. And the reason I'm saying music because this is the same thing we keep failing from, music. People get cocky. I have to keep only mentioning music because that's the main thing people falling from, like Lucifer. You bringing that garbage rap, you know, imagery into this, like this is not some cool boy thing. You gonna do it for the Most High, do it, but don't be a clown. Pull your pants up, do what you need to do, dress like a man, humble yourself in the sight of the Most High. Don't be a nigga. Okay, we don't need that. No one want to see your backside, none of these things. You know, no one want to see you trying to be some real nigga on the side. You're not that. You're a king, you're a prince. Act like it. Okay, I'm not going to respect that. I'm sorry, I'm just not going to respect that. I don't respect clowns. You got to come correct. I'm not sitting here judging you and all that, but at the same time, you want to be respected by men of the Most High, you have to come with it. You got to be humble. You got to study. I will not believe a person who makes music if they're not about their life. You shall know them by their fruits. So if you're a criminal, that's what you are. If you're a righteous saint, that's what you are. Pick which one you want to be. You can't be both. Okay? We don't care what we done in the past to make us real in this truth. Now you got to show some different stripes now. If you was real in the streets, you was real in the streets. But now we need you to be real in the truth. Okay? You can lie to your girl about these things and these women who simpletons because you handsome. You get on social media and these simple girls in the truth, they want to follow you and all this stuff. Young ladies, do you actually know what a righteous man of the Most High is? It's not a clown. It's not a person who's playing around just because they cute or handsome. This is serious. This is your soul on the line. When you marry a man, we talking about relationships with others. You can't marry some dude like you were in the world just because he's cute and because you think he can work something. And then you want to complain later, I need a counsel. You got your counsel. You just like the people who said, we need a sign. He said, you got the sign of Jonas. You're not getting no more. You wanted to figure out, can he work something? There go your works. Okay? You better be careful, following everybody on Instagram, men and women, and you don't even know who some of these people is just because they saying a higher. People have to put in works, guys. And if you want to marry somebody's daughter, go to their father. Don't go to some woman on the side. If they don't got a father, ask them, do they have an uncle? Find some man as a representation in their family or an elder who's over them. Because if you go to the side, you ain't nothing but a thief and a robber. This is not the world. You build relationships according to the Most High. You're not that deep. Because when you come the other way, we're going to think you just want to fornicate. And you have no respect for her overseer. Every woman gets into the kingdom through a man. If you don't know. Through her elder, through her father, they have to have a cover. And you coming in with that cheap GMO cotton to cover her. She got 100% Egyptian cotton over here. You coming with that GMO cotton or that polyester trying to cover her. Whoever comes through the other door is a thief and a robber. Now, sisters, you have to stop being so simple because the Bible says they take silly women captive because you think somebody can sing or rap or because they can dress a certain way. That's not enough to get a righteous woman. I'm sorry. See them in their works in this ministry for a while. Do they work hard? Are they consistent with their job? Whatever the case may be. Are they honorable? Do they have respect? Do they have confidence and not cockiness? Are they a bum? You have bums in the truth too. That don't mean they will always be that, but when you join someone, don't come and ask for counsels later if you didn't do this thing right. A man, all he gotta, let me tell you, a man can just say a few words and sisters, because he got a good looking pretty boy face, that's all they need. Or because he could put a few words together on a song. Oh yeah, such and such. I mean, listen, you marrying Drakes out here. Y'all marrying some Drakes. Back in the days, they said, listen, whoever go and kill these many Canaanites, that's who's going to be able to marry my daughter. We're not marrying our daughters to no clowns. Let Drake go out there and try to battle some Canaanites. This dude went to the West Coast in the video with Game, and they say he ran. They had to call him back to do the video. And when he got in the video, he was acting all hard. But before, off camera, this dude actually ran. So this is who you marrying, studio gangsters. And at first you get, at first you in the DMs. Oh, daddy, I like, yeah. Yeah, daddy, let daddy see them DMs first. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You wanted the relationship with others, you're gonna get it real. That's the only way Israel gets healed. You gotta be real with Israel. Associate those with those of your class. Let's go back to it. We're almost done here. Verse 2. Burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier than richer than thyself. What does that mean? Don't get too comfortable around someone who's so rich because they will use you. Be careful with those relationships. Well, I'm trying to get me a mentor. A lot of these mentors use young people. They will say, hey, well, do this for me and I'll do this for you. And they use them. I've already seen it plenty of times. Knowing that they don't really need these guys, they will use them. Don't let these celebrities and these Masonic people, you know what I mean, use the power of the Most High. The Holy Spirit is not to be used by these people. He's telling you to be careful. You're going to meet some of them, but just listen. Just be respectful. Do what you need to do your business, and move around. Try to look up to them too much, you're going to become their underling, and they will use you. Okay? For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot together? For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. Like, look, you trying to battle against somebody because you feel the zeal of the Most High. You will not be able to fight them in court. You don't have the money. You have the Most High, but he's like, listen, you don't even have the wisdom yet. You think I'm going to fight for you. You just woke up and you overzealous and all that. Do you know what I told you in Sirach? It's not worth it. Your people have to go through what I told their forefathers they would go through. So I'm going to help you to a certain degree, but you still got a lot of proving to do before I help you on this level. Period. And let me tell you, I've gotten some impossible things done in my life in this truth. But it's some things I had to go through as well. But if you're not real about this, people will not help you. People will not take you serious. And the Most High definitely won't take you serious. I sat in some places that none of you will imagine. Well, witnesses like, wow, this brother could have been in prison right now. Facts. And they was sitting there like, whoa, this dude got the highest case up in this thing. He could have been in prison. Look what the Most High done for this brother. Think he would have done it for me if I was a clown playing around? You haven't been cuffed in jail, some of you. Let me tell you, I was cuffed in the prison, in the jail and airport. Like, yeah, just like the people in the Bible. Some of these brothers was in this truth that I walk with. They was thrown in jail and all that, just trying to do the work. And they stood strong. And the Most High continued to take them out no different than he did the disciples. This has already happened to some of us. A lot of you don't even know that. So, you be careful because you don't want to end up in the wrong places. Let's go back to number 3, verse 3. The rich man had done wrong, and yet he threatened withal. And the poor is wrong. I don't know if we go into all that. Let me see. Let's jump to verse 5. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. He will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. Because he doesn't actually need you. He was just squeezing you out dry. A lot of Masons do this to each other. Even though they're Masons, they will actually do this to each other. They'll use the 48 laws of power on each other. That's what the whole industry does. They use the 48 laws of power in an art of war against each other. Because they're all believing that their own self-gods. So they're really fighting the same battle as the giants against one another. And we fall for all of these distractions. You'll have Soldier Boy, arguing against, let me tell you, all these cats is this Rainbow Gang and all that. And let me tell you, and they all really got something to say against each other. I'm like, bro, what you just the other day, you actually got something to say against this person? This is all silly circus clown buffoonery. And Meek Mill ain't got a leg to stand on anymore. I mean, he's I want to say I feel bad for some of these people, but I mean, some of these people have some chances, man. And this poor brother don't know when to be quiet. Like, brother, you are done. You have nothing else to say. You are done. If Beanie Siegel was done, you definitely done. You're done. He was actually one knocking cats out and really out there. Meek Mill just had a loud voice. He was a skinny cat, loud voice, good lyrics. But you wasn't knocking nothing out. That's just the reality of it. I'm from Houston. I know you come down with Houston with Jay Prince, but I really don't get into this worldly stuff. But I mean, these cats been clowns to me, with all due respect. You would not be a clown no more if you take that makeup off, that Ronald McDonald makeup off, and come into this truth. Let that water wash it off for you, that baptism water. And come and be a man of the Most High. Because as long as you stand up with pride, you will continue to fall. Pride comes before the fall. I mean, a lot of our people are so simple. You could just do anything for them to just follow somebody. Back in the days, you had to really actually be who you're supposed to be. You weren't going to be perfect, but you couldn't be some clown walking around. Like, you couldn't really be in the Rainbow Gang. You couldn't be some dude pretending, because the gorillas in the neighborhood, they gonna let you know. They gonna debo you. Bow. What you say? You gonna get chin checked. That don't exist anymore. Every little young skinny guy weigh 165 is going around talking crap because he can write a verse. I mean, what's going on with our nation? I mean, I remember the old school grandpas with the big, thick hands, working on cars. And these was the men who worked hard for everything. I mean, now it's just a bunch of people talking and, auto-tuning the whole world. and it ain't gonna work out how we think, guys. They doing recalls on Teslas. The Bible already says that, it's going to be a time just like with the Nebuchadnezzar where they try to merge the miry clay, with the metal and all that, and it's not really going to stick like they think. It ain't going to really work out. All of these things that they're trying to do is not going to work out how they think. Their plan is not going to go how they think. They're still trying to bring this new image of the beast, no different than this image of Nebuchadnezzar that they had. This is just the new daughter of Babylon. It's all not going to work out. Have you guys noticed how, and I'm digressing for a second, how they're coming out with these new things instead of actually burying people and just cremating them? They're freezing people now, or putting people into little pods with some type of liquid nitrogen or whatever the case may be, whatever compound it was, to preserve these bodies. No different than when Michael was striving against the devil for Moses' body, so they couldn't use him in some type of future to bring him back to rise up the people or something like that. They're doing this clone Tyrone thing, and they're starting to come out with it. I don't know if you guys have been seeing this out there. This is where we're headed in this generation. It's all like this generation is Wizard of Oz. We want to wake up the part of this generation that was meant to be called for the Most High. There's some good young people out here who have no fear and who want you to be just like we're saying. But we have to pull those people out. They're out there. They're out there. They're business minded. They're a little different. So they're not just taking everything that this society says. So there's that generation out there too. But I'm talking about this generation as a whole. It's turning into what the Bible said it would. But we need to pull out those people, that young generation, who's going to be our future leaders and brothers and sisters in this walk. They're out there. We have to go and gain them. But we must be examples to get them, right? But let's get back on. I digress. Let's go back to verse 6. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope. He will speak thee fair and say, what you want? What you want? And he will shame thee by his meats, until he have drawn thee twice or thrice, and at the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Let me tell you, some of these rich people have fun just seeing you like they like, we would never let you in. You're a wannabe Illuminati. You want to join the Illuminati. We don't want people who want to be in this. We come find you. That's how they think. Until he have drawn thee twice or thrice. And at the last, he will laugh thee to scorn. Don't you know people in the Illuminati would actually want people like you guys who are righteous and trying to follow the Most High? They would actually want you more than some dude who's throwing up some signs and acting like he's with the Illuminati trying to get in. They want you. They want your soul. Because they know the potential the Most High have given you. Right? When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Beware that thou be not deceived and brought down to thy jollity. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself. If one of these rich people who you know, the Spirit was telling you, you might not want to do that. Don't go to one of these famous celebrity parties. Don't go to one of these corporate things where they got swinging things and going on. Because people used to come to me like that. Oh, yeah, you want to come to this swinging party? First, they'll come with like, oh, you're reading the book of Jasher? Yeah, I know that book. They know that book because they're Masons. And then later on, I'm a pastor. They'll say, I'm a pastor. This stuff really happened, so, in real life. Yeah, you want to come over here with your, your wife and whatever? You know what I mean? Like, this is years ago this stuff happened. Yeah, we do like a little swingers party. So that's the thing they come with next. In the corporate sector. So it's not just some celebrity thing, guys. They do this in the corporate sector. Masons, they can say they worship God and all that. But this is what they're doing. Inviting you to one of these Hollywood parties because you work in their company. Right? Withdraw thyself, and so much the more he will invite thee. Now, if you go to someone who's a mighty man, you don't want to be a man pleaser. And guess what? Because you're not a man pleaser, he will respect you even more. So you have to know when you're dealing with people like this as well, who could be halfway good people as well. Don't be a man pleaser. Verse 10, press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand out afar off, lest thou be forgotten. Don't be too humble. And don't be too, forward with it. Balance this thing off. Balance it off, because you got a lot of wealthy people who could actually be friends of Mammon, but because you didn't understand the scriptures, you don't get the blessing. You're not here to be somebody's friend in every situation. Sometimes it's just business, but you still have to know how to act in this relationship with a person like that. If somebody tells you a cheap price for something that's cheap to you and you get excited, you be like, oh, for real? That's all you gonna charge? You've now made them charge everyone else way more than what they've just charged you. It's just gonna cost $500? For real? Thank you, Lord. And you don't do that in front of them. You act like that's too much. 500? All right, let me think about that. I'm gonna call you back. Let me think up on it. Or even if you got to press the button right now, don't get too jolly, because it will bring you down to your jollity. Affect not to make him equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk. This is where a lot of young men fail. Even if you know something, don't mean you need to say something every time. It becomes annoying. Oh, yeah, I did this, man. Yeah, I was such and such and such. You feel the need to come out and always say this, to interrupt. You could when it's your time to talk, bring it in a humble way. And believe not his many words, for with much communication he will tempt thee, and smiling upon thee he will get thee out of thy secrets. But cruelly he will lay up thy words, and will not spare to do thee hurt, and to put thee in prison. You just start talking with this person as if you knew him. I told you to try every spirit. You just start talking all your business to this person. You don't know this person knows the feds. You don't know this person's a cop. You don't know if this person hates criminals. Yeah, man, I used to gang bang. I used to sell these birds back in the day. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And they look at you like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to call you back. We're going to do this deal tomorrow. This is another deal that's going to get done. See? Be careful. Everybody's not your friend to hear your past. Okay? Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in the peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awaken thy sleep. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation. Okay? Every beast loveth his like, every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. So if you see a person always gossiping, you see a group of women always gossiping, they are gossipers. They are busybodies. Huh? Yeah, birds of a feather flock together. You see men always just twiddling their thumbs, hanging and playing, never amounting to anything. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean they can't ever do it, but they have to go out their way to learn, knock on the door of the elders and people who have wisdom when it comes to business and finances to learn to get taught. Or you will stay just like that. Wherever they are, you will stay. That's why they'll tell you, like, when you want to be successful, go and learn from the people who are successful at what they do. You don't want to hang around the people who still have hopes and dreams. Go around the people who's making the dreams happen. Huh? Yeah. See, who I am, I've never been about that talk. I always got to be with the walk. On everything I do, I got to be about with that walk. I have to be about with that walk. That's just my personality. Everybody don't got to be like me, but I just can't just do something and just talk about it. In my own conscience, I feel crazy in my mind. You just did 50 push-ups. Before you finish, do 10 more. Not do 20 more. You know what? Do 30 more. You end up hitting another 50. That's the mindset of the people who I hang with. Period. And one thing I love about working out, you can use working out in many different levels of your life mentally. Like that. Okay? So discipline, whatever way you guys find discipline, find it, okay? But a clear mind, stretching, working out, eating healthy helps us to remember these things, okay? Where did we leave off? We almost done here. Let's go to verse 17. What fellowship had the wolf and the lamb? So the sinner with the godly. So a lot of you young brothers and sisters, like the beginning of the lesson, remember, why are you still hanging with these people? You know what they're up to. You're going to end up falling. You're going to end up being one of them seeds planted by the stony ground. You're not going to really take root. You're going to start off good, and they're going to be like, what happened to such and such? You didn't listen to the scriptures. You kept thinking this wasn't that bad. And the Holy Spirit just kept slowly taking some of her virtue away from you because you were just wasting it anyway. So she's like, you're actually not progressing. You're becoming the same person in the world. Actually, you had more grind in the world. You had more faith and works in the world. In the truth, you're just waiting for something to fall out the sky. You just coming to the Sabbath saying praise Ahia. That's no different than the Christian church. From year to year, you still doing the same thing in the same position. And one thing I can respect about Issachar, somebody come out here and say, I ain't got no work. They will go out there and say, hey, I only got a few dollars. Go to that pawn shop. Boom, I'm going to cut somebody's grass today. I'm going to buy another machine. I'm going to buy an old truck. Truck may not work that good. 2 months later, he got, guess what? New machines, got a trailer. A few more months to a year, brother got a whole new truck, LLC company. You got people who can, and let me tell you, if you Esau, and you're trying to fit the curses of Jacob, don't do that. If you don't have a mind, go clean some houses. Go, because you're white, you can get in places we can't get into. Go to the rich neighborhood. Make you some spray, some essential oils, whatever. Say, hey, this is all natural cleaning, whatever. Even if it's not, you go to a dollar store, hey, hook that thing up, get you some spray bottles, and you like, listen, You catch the bus to somebody's house if you ain't got no car. Don't fit our curses. You don't want to fit our curses. Take advantage of your kingdom. You can go to the rich people area to clean houses. We can't. And now guess what? And listen, you go get say, hey, I'm just in the area. I'm cleaning houses. You got you some cards. Before you know, you got you a whole LLC. And because you're Esau and this is your kingdom right now, you better take advantage. Don't try to be hanging with us, fitting our curses. You could just follow righteousness with us, but this is your kingdom. Take advantage while your people got it. And you can live in the one that's coming and the one you're gonna have. So I had to say that for the Gentiles too. Take advantage of what your people can get. You can get all these things we can't get. Don't be too humble. So I just gave you some game for the Gentiles and that. And if you don't feel like doing that no more, guess what? Now you done started the cleaning company. You hire some people to go and do the cleaning now. Boom. I'm just saying, it's no excuses out here. You know, I can't get a job because of my record. If you have faith, somebody gonna hire you. And if nobody never hires you, it's time to start your own business. They can't deny a LLC. They can't deny a corporation. See, ain't no record except for credit history on a corporation or a LLC. You better get your mind right. It's always a way. See, they denied me. They denied me for everything. I started Key Supplements and I did the work of the Most High. Period. And guess what? That's without a record. That's because I just been gone for so long. I got a good resume. So, verse 18. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? So a hyena and a dog, I know that may sound a little tricky, but they're both dogs, Elder. Yeah. But one can be a spiritual creature and one can be not. They both human, but one is spiritual and the other one's not. Very deceiving, huh? So let's jump to verse 20. As the proud hate humility, so doeth the rich abhor the poor. A rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends. Herod and Josephus. He was able to go and borrow $1 million from the Romans. Oh, I ran through the $1 million. Oh, I need to borrow $2 million. And they kept giving him the money. Herod was just borrowing money from the Romans over and over, guys, when you're reading the Josephus during the time of Hyrcanus. You can't ask a Negro for $20 without them saying, I don't know if I got it, man. But the rich, they have a different mindset. Because they only respect those with a certain mindset for whatever reason. That's just how it is. But a poor man being down is a thrust away by his friends. Ain't that how it is? When you poor in the neighborhood, hey, that's how it is. They look on your downfall. When a rich man is fallen, he had many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken. If Donald Trump went broke, he's still going to be able to get money. Still going to be able to borrow money. And yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too. He spake wisely and could have no place. When the rich man speaketh, every man hold his tongue. Because everyone wants to know what the celebrities say. They don't want to hear what we have to say. Let me see what Kevin Hart got to say. Who cares? He could tell some jokes and make you laugh, but these people are not speakers for the Most High. I'm sorry. You see who owns them. The you-wish people. The you-wish they were us people. Kanye used to speak until they said, you keep speaking, I'm going to close your mouth. Don't forget, before he started calling himself God, he was actually saying, I bow down to the king that's on the throne. My life is his, is no longer my own. After he starts saying that, whatever chip they fried in him or whatever medicine they put him on, he's talking about he's God. He's coming in and out now, in and out. Now he's saying he's God. So they fried this dude. These people are not speakers of the Most High. Okay? And they're only able to do it because they have things on these people. Okay? They extol it to the clouds, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? Like, who is this? What are you talking about? You know how they say in Egypt, they're like, Idda. Idda means like, what's this? What fellow is this? What are you talking about? If he stumble, they will help overthrow him. Riches are good unto him that had no sin. So I don't need some Negro lights coming around here telling you to stare in the corner, telling you to be broke. And the ministry of God goes to nothing. We need, like it said in Acts, people to work hard so that we can pay our tithes and offerings to the church, so that the church can thrive, so that, the ministry can thrive. Riches are good for people who are not sinners. The Bible's telling you right here. Riches are good unto him that had no sin, because their life is not about money. They know that money is just a tool. So people who pray for riches, that's not a good thing to pray for. Pray for the Most High to give you wisdom, and you will have the wisdom to get wealth and riches and leave legacy for your children. You're supposed to have no change in you if $1 million is in the bank. You're still the same person. It's just a tool. It's just some paper with some ink. It's just capital. It's just currency. It's just some money. Some people who haven't had it, you can tell when they haven't had it. You get some person a loan, they go buy a Bugatti, and they forgot they got to pay the loan back. And then, in a year or two, they don't have the Bugatti. They down flat broke. What happened to you? Knowledge. Our people suffer for a lack of knowledge. In their mind, they had all the money in the world because they never had money. What's those checks that came out? I forget the name of it. PPP checks or something. Let me tell you, black people thought this was like the, what would I call it? The reparations. Let me tell you, we need Trump back. We need some more money. Black people thought this was a reparations when Trump got in office. They were PPP and everything. Going out to eat, buying all types of material things. And let me tell you, them white folk came right back. Yeah. Pulled you back like Japheth. Put hooks in your jaws. I'm just saying. Riches are only good for them that have no sin. So if you start just giving people money who's going through it, they will be asking you forever. Teach them how to fish. I give you a little bit to hold you down for a little bit, but you're going to have to really learn how to fish. He don't love me no more. Master P, hey, he was a record label owner. There's different things when you're a record label owner than an artist. You get what an artist gets paid, and I get what a record label owner gets paid. You need to read your contract. It's not my job to tell you to read the contract. That's your job. Go and find you a lawyer. Well, man, he forgot about the hood. He gave you a chance. What did you do with your money? He had the faith to go to the record label or Universal to say, if they was going to pay me this amount of money, I'm going to say no, because that means I'm worth this amount of money. It's a mindset. Poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. The heart or mind of a man changes his countenance. So when we see you, when it comes to relationships, saying, oh, I forgave her, but you still got an evil countenance. Or I forgave him, but you still walking around with a stank face, you're lying. No one with joy walks around with a stank face. No one who loves their brother is mugging their brother and sizing their brother up. You good, my brother? Yeah, I'm good. You good? That's that demon. See, let me tell you, you can know them by their fruits. You can know them by their countenance. Some men have stature in their countenance, and some women's faces strong, these strong Israelite faces. But it's a difference when you have a face that you think you're above people, you're heady, have your head high, and the Most High talks about that. You can't do that. Just because you're some Israelite, even if you have a high position, you can't walk with your head high above people. These are the Most High's people. It's a difference between not dealing with foolishness and then walking like you're some God or you're Christ himself. That's a difference. Because, I can handle myself. I got security because I got to finish. But trust me, my security know I can handle myself, baby. You know, I'm talking about, like, listen, I done been in some battles with bricks thrown, knives pulled out. I'm whoop, 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 bow, bow, what's up? Steven's a go, yo, but I can handle myself. I'm not going to tell you what I know, but I can handle myself. You don't need to know what I know. It needs to be an element of surprise. But you try, you're going to find out. Okay? You're going to mess around and find out. Let me tell you, that's, yay. Mess around and found out. Huh? You're going to put your demon in the back seat instead of riding inside of you. Let me stop messing with y'all, man. I'm just joking with you guys. I don't know how to fight. Come on. Verse 25. The heart of a man changes his countenance, whether it be for good or evil. And merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. So if you are happy, if you are in good spirits, a merry or happy heart makes a cheerful countenance. Smile. I'm one of those people who have like a face that's just like a natural warrior face. It looks like I'm angry or going to fight. Not that. You have some people who's like that, but as soon as you tell them something, it's like you just tickle them and they smile. That's how my personality is. Now, when I deal with clowns, there's not going to be a smile because I'm letting you know, dude, get her from around here, please. Because I'm not the one and I am the one at the same time. Whichever one you want to find out, I hope you don't. But I'm giving you an opportunity. Okay? But praise the Most High for people in the truth because they usually respects this. You really rarely ever come across that, ever. But you have some people who is here for the wrong reason, jockeying for some type of position that's not theirs. So that part we have to be careful for. Wait on your ministry. Everyone in this is going to have a job to do. Trust me. Don't rush it. Wait on that ministry because when it rains, it pours. I'm telling you right now, that wilderness is going to be some work. Hey, you ready? Anyway, we're going to leave it there with that. As a matter of fact, let me show you how you have to be careful for some of your company here. Let me see if it's here. Fair use for educational purposes only.
The family of a 26-year-old Louisiana man, Christopher Gilbert, is seeking justice after he suffered brain damage when a friend allegedly pushed him into a lake despite knowing he couldn't swim.
When a friend pushed him into a lake, you got to be careful of your company. You think you can go around the mighty. I'm not saying you can't go around white people, but some people have these black friends, and these black friends are just their underlings. Just like when I used to see in Egypt, you would have a bunch of Islam Muslims walking around, and you would see some type of African brother walking with him, and he used to just look crazy. Like, dude, you're underling, no offense to some of these corny cats. Are you kidding me right now? You a brother. What are you doing? You the one make the style. And when I say corny, I'm not calling all Arabs corny, but some of them would be like Steve Urkel Arabs. And it's like they walking around like they his OGs. And it's like, nah, that don't match. And I used to see this type of stuff all the time. And I'm like, listen, we try to end up hating our own for what's going on in our neighborhood, but you can't hate your own. You have to find out who you are and understand why we're in this position. You can't hate all your people. Can't hate no one, really. But just, you get among some of these people, you really need to know who some of these people are, regardless of what color they are. You got some white people that's real cool and some real ones. I know some real ones out there who going to speak that real to you. Country boys, all that. And they going to be fair, respectful, but they going to stand up like men more than some of our people do. But then you have some of us who thinks like, oh, I'm going to go to the white side, and you think you're accepted. Until something like this happens to you. See? You got to be careful out there. These friends are sometimes friends of the mighty because their parents have more money than you. And they're going to have the lawyers and everything to make all of this go away. So we just read this in the Bible. You have to be careful.
The incident occurred on April 14th at the lakefront restaurant in Farmville. Gilbert's mother, Yolanda George, received a frantic call from a friend reporting that Gilbert had fallen into the lake and had been underwater for about 20.
Don't want to make a friend so bad the way it may cost you your life, guys. Watch where your children go. Oh, I'm sending my child to prep school. Some of these white people is crazy over there. Once again, I shouldn't have to say all white people. It's no different than when I'm talking about Jezebel. I'm not talking about righteous women. Obviously, we have some very good white people, Asians, whatever they are. But I'm going to speak the truth when I need to speak the truth. We can't act like it's some friendly world out here, because it's not. It's Esau versus Jacob on a high level. Not on every level, but a high level. The mount of Esau. So those who think that they're at the mount are coming against those who are at the bottom. So you send your children to some of these places and you think they're all safe because it's fake. Sometimes it's more weird and crazier over there. At least they know what's going on with their own. They have to be warriors and grow up where they are. It's a win-lose situation on both sides. But, hey, homeschool obviously is the best if you can do that. But when we become too different from who we are, let me tell you, there's always a few of them who don't like what we're doing. And they want to play with you like you're just their little fiddle somewhere. Be careful. And all you're going to say, oh, I can't believe they did this to my... This is how it happens. This is how it happens. And I always warn people, when you come to Houston, a coward will kill you here. A coward. Because right now the world is very corny. A real G out here, or whatever you want to call him, a real man who's holding it down out here, they not trying to go around just hurting people. Even the people who's putting in work, they're not necessarily trying to go and hurt people. They may be trying to get money. But these days, you're dealing with a bunch of Drakes rolling around with AKs and full clips, trying to see how many rounds they can let off for no reason. Because their parents are rich and you're making this rap music and they want to be real like you. But you're not real. This rap music is getting our people killed because they're faking like the Wizard of Oz. Quavo, he's some skinny dude. He can play some basketball. And he's walking around like some OG. Dude, you not no OG. And the OGs is letting these people walk around like these some pretty boy studio gangsters. I'm not saying these guys can't protect themselves. That's not what I'm saying. But let's be honest. You're not no gorilla, brother. So the whole thing is upside down. You got a bunch of, I come back, you got a bunch of Asians talking about, man, what's up, nigga? I'm like, nah, I can't. Y'all hanging around these cats like this? I don't roll like that. I'm like, I'm good. You got Asians, Pakistanis, and white boys around here rolling around trying to let off 100 rounds, and they going out to the clubs like we used to do as if they're us. Like I used to tell my stepson, like, listen, y'all go out there, a coward will kill you. I am from here. I know how it goes down. A coward will kill you because, for one, he's really afraid of you. But two, they're trying to show off like they're Machine Gun Kelly or somebody. It's real in the field.
Minutes. Gilbert, an aspiring medical doctor, was rescued and hospitalized, initially deemed brain dead. However, he later regained consciousness. Investigations revealed that a female friend had pushed Gilbert into the water, admitting to it later.
A female friend pushed him into the water. He was hanging around a bunch of white people, guys. Let me tell you.
Incident was labeled as a...
Let me tell you, some of these white women don't respect our black men like that. No different than our own sisters sometimes. It's bad on both sides. But what I'm saying is, be careful who you befriend. Be careful who you let your children befriend. They'll be on your table as dinner these days. They'll be somebody's tool. Like these poor children like Meek Mills, Justin Bieber, people sacrificing their children to Moloch and all these things. Tupac. People who still was trying to find themselves, but these people took advantage of these kids. and turn them into some, whatever.
Horseplay by some, Gilbert's family believes it was a criminal act, the Guardian reported. They are urging authorities to arrest the person responsible and hold the restaurant owner accountable for negligence. A petition supporting the family's demands has garnered over 2,600 signatures. As of Friday,
It's sad that when our people go through this, it's such a long process. But we can stop it by not pretending like everything is okay out here, because it's not. Go and handle your business and come home. These ain't your friends. Go handle your business and come home. Period. These not your friends. When you go to work, handle your business and come home. You can't be telling your business, you young guys out there and women, to these people at these jobs, and you come home. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. Some of you have that. Some of you have some relationships like that, some of these places. Some of you, but not all. And there's a way to have a relationship at work and keep it on a certain level to where it don't get, you don't put all your business out there. But if you go too far and you make yourself an underling to them, this is what happens to you. If he was acting like a Negro, he wouldn't be, I'm going to tell you the truth, he wouldn't be hanging with the wrong crowd. Even though they're good, studious white people, you don't really, in all factors in every situation, go together in every situation. You got to meet the right white people. They got some good ones out there, but you need to read the Bible to know which ones they are. I got some white friends I can call before black friends, but you have to read the Bible to be able to decipher that. You can't just think, hey guys, I want to hang out and be simple as a day's old. They're going to show you what hanging out means to them. Get your butt in this water.
Gilbert had regained consciousness and was eating on his own.
And you can't let your children be simple like this. Stay on their behinds. Stay on their behinds. Don't let them be simple. Don't let them be simple.
Though he remained hospitalized.
Okay? That was fair use for educational purposes only. For our people to be safe out there. Okay? Now, it took me a little longer. I'll open up the lines a little bit. It's late. Call-in number 281-973-6872. I think somebody just tried to call in. Go ahead. We'll just take a few calls tonight because it's a little late. I apologize. But I wanted to get through this lesson. It's a long overdue lesson. There's many people who actually was requesting this lesson since I started G.O.C.C. Media about friends. So, and just relationships in general. Obviously, we can, we have the the deception of romance lessons. You can go back and watch those. I'm going to start putting some shorts out to highlight certain things to help get this truth out a little bit more. And don't forget, guys, we have this event. Make sure you go and buy your tickets to this gala. I'm going to have some of the artists do their 60-second promo videos, like Shaddai or whoever these artists who are going to be on here. You know what I mean? Because we had a meeting with Brother Torrance, okay? Whoever these artists that, they told you to do your promos, make sure you send those promos in. And that we can get these things up, played on here. And we can continue to let the people know who's going to be at the concert or whatever the case may be, all right? Some of the great artists, and it's just going to continue to evolve and get better if it be the Most High's will, right? So, if you want to call in, because if not, I smell some good old food out there. I'm gonna get on it. So if you don't call in within the next 5 minutes, Elder gonna get ready to get my back day tomorrow. And we're gonna do another one about gardening, but I might do more shorts because it seems as if the garden videos get the less views when people are asking for the gardening more, but they still get the less views. So people are just all talk. They're not really about that life. So for those who are about that life, we will put out some videos, probably not live, probably not like videos like this, like actual streams, but more so we will just start uploading videos for those few people who's really about that life. because, one thing I'm tired of is people saying what they want and they don't show up. I can't stand that. So one thing you're not going to do is waste my time. Okay? So those who actually is about that life, we're going to put that up for you. And we will have some gardeners outside of myself come on here as experts too. 561 area code. What they want and they don't show. Don't play me in the background. Who you got? 561 area code.
Shalom, brother. This is Brother Pa Alu out in the Florida body.
How you doing, my brother? You say what's your name?
Pa Alu.
Pa Alu. Ooh, that's a nice name. What tribe you from, man?
Thank you, brother. Tribe of Judah.
Tribe of Judah. That's what I'm talking about. What you got to say for us tonight, my brother?
First of all, man, just thank you, brother, for the water, man, for just all the lessons that you put up. I definitely need to catch more of yours. Elder Rawchaa, man, he'd be pulling me in, but I'm like, man, let me see what Ariel going on. Let me see what's going on with Ariel, Officer Ariel over there. That's how you say your name, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My name is Elder Rawchaa. It means warrior lion.
Love it, man.
All praises. All praises.
Yes, sir. But so I joined in towards the end, and I just wanted to share something in regards to that drowning that happened, and just paralleling that to, the power of this truth. What you were saying, man, was hitting, because I grew up here in Boca Raton, Florida, and it's predominantly, funnily enough, Jewish. A lot of Jewish people.
I call them you wish, so I can save the show. You wish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you good? You good? Just so you know.
Yes, sir. But just growing up with predominantly white surroundings, I can totally understand what you were sharing with the gentleman there, where it's like you almost are positioned in a way to where they call it being the token black guy. And basically that's code for the black guy that we feel comfortable enough trying, sizing, putting under our thumb, to kind of feel big and show off to the others around us. And it's just sad that you have circumstances that turn out as dire as that, where dude suffered brain damage, but I just parallel that to now, man, and just being in this truth, because it's like, man, when you realize the power that you have and again, the power that you have per the Most High and just being his chosen seed, it's just, that rocked me differently, you know what I mean? To where I'm like, wow, that's crazy how like brothers go out to these colleges, and I feel like the Most High saved me from university, because that would have been crazy, just the lust, the drinking, all that come from that. Like, yeah. I wanted to go to university so bad, but the Most High saved me from that. Looking back, I realize that now. But yeah, brother, just the message you were talking about tonight. I mean, I can splinter off what I just said, can splinter off to what you were sharing about business and starting that and not fighting to get these titles and these accolades. I mean, hey, if you got a bachelor's or master's, that's awesome, but the way the system's set up, that's only feeding the you-ish, families versus our own in hopes to climb out of that debt, and it's wild, bro. But yeah, everything that you shared tonight was just hitting. I just wanted to share that last part though with the drowning, man, because that's sad.
Man, thank you for calling in, my brother. Everything you said was on point, and a lot of people don't know. I mean, they're training their children to run the world. Like the guy, Mr. Damon, I think his name was Damon Richards or something like that. I forget his actual last name, but the guy who came on from Fred Sanford, I forget his name, but he Edwards or something. But he was showing, we all know this, that they teach their children to run the world and they teach us to work for them. So we just have to educate ourselves financially. That's another reason why I put out this gala thing that we have, because they're going to be talking about some things. I don't know how much they're going to go into it, but I'm sure it's going to continue to build when it comes to finances and just continues to grow and evolve as a people, because people say, hey, I got a record, this and that. But if you're good at something, if you're good at fitness, if you're good at being a mechanic, whatever you're good at, somebody, if you're actually truly good at it, though, somebody needs that service. And you just have to learn how to market and make yourself known. And the more you educate yourself on, you understand these business entities like LLCs, corporations, S Corp, C Corp. The more we get better at these things, and you learn how to borrow what America's given in a capitalistic society, you don't actually need, you know what I mean? You don't need this college stuff and all that. You good at what you do. They're giving you the funding for it as long as you're truly good at it, and you do what it takes to make that business look like it's supposed to. I mean, obviously, but let me tell you, we don't need to be suffering under these people for long. So, but anyway, my brother, your name was Palalu again?
Pa'alu, yeah. I'm Fog Fitness on YouTube with you guys, man. And I've
Okay.
been learning from you, man. The supplement company that you built as well, too.
Okay.
I'm looking into that.
Well,
Just,
listen, I messed Mr. Damon name up. Forgive me, Mr. Wilson. Mr. Damon Wilson. I messed his name all the way up. I'm acting like an old man right now. I apologize, but but yes, my brother, thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. Stay on your game. We need Judah to rise and be a great example. So thank you for calling in and speaking, for your nation tonight. Thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. Shalom, the water, brother.
Shalom, King. Shalom. Brother Pa'alu. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, guys, we just have to, choose our friends very wisely and know, listen, we're not called to hang around and be their underlings anymore. They are your underlings if they want to stay in the world now. No disrespect. And I don't mean it in a condescending way, but you have the Holy Spirit. How dare you let the Holy Spirit be underling to a worldly person? Are you kidding me? Women, men, come on now. Be careful. I'm not saying it's evil to go in, in every sense, but you need to be very wise. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to be very wise. Okay? So I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. If no one else calls in, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. I'm a little hungry. I'm ready to prepare for tomorrow. I gotta get myself in that garden. Oh yeah. I'm gonna probably be doing a few videos. We're getting ready to go into the summer, telling people a few things that they can actually start to grow for the summertime for the beginners. For those of you who already know, you already know what it is. Obviously, you can also subscribe to Humble Servants Homestead. Man, they're great gardeners, man. And I will be, soon as I get my garden back up, starting to do some more videos on Lion's Homestead. It just been, it's after the hailstorm, I had to actually go back out there and put my main big shade house back up. I mean, they knocked that whole thing down. So we getting it back together though, man. Anyway, I love you guys. Make sure you tell whoever needs to subscribe to G.O.C.C. Media. Let's get these subscribers up just like A Gathering 144. And let's do what we need to do to fuel and build our kingdom. And make sure that you guys go to historytimes.org to join the Hebrew Bible Academy. We got a caller. Because we went in the lesson about Edom. About 1 second here. We have an 864 area code. 1 second. We have a lesson about Edom last week. Great lesson for those who are in a Christian church or in the world who actually don't know who the nations are in the Bible. You have to know who the nations are to actually be able to understand the Bible. You can't just understand the Jesus. You have to understand the nations. So 864 area code. Who do we have calling?
Shalom, Elder. This is Brother Richard from the Carolinas, South Carolina body.
Shalom, my king. What you got for me tonight?
And Elder, I always enjoy watching your show.
All praises to the Most High.
And you make me laugh and you teach me something.
All praises.
What I wanted to say is you touched on a lot of things, and you sharing your testimonies with us, all you've been through.
Yes,
sir. A lot of us brothers, we've been through similar situations.
Yeah.
A lot of us come from together.
Right.
And I just hope that not just our brothers, but our brothers and sisters, I hope they all take heed to your words and your wisdom that you give us.
I mean, brother, I pray, I pray that, that they all do too, because it's serious what we're doing. The same seriousness we had to sin and do evil, and the desire, I'm not gonna say the desire, but the zeal, whatever zeal or whatever was pushing us to come out of the hood and try to be successful. Because I know at the end of the day, even though we fell to the side, some of us, we had little girls and things like that, little going out, trying to have a little fun. At the end of the day, we all just wanted to have a better life for our families. So I pray that our people bring that same energy in this, because now it's not just, just for worldly gain. It's for our families and our kingdom. So I pray that they listen too, brother.
I agree, Elder. And like I said, that's all I really want to say, man. I just keep it brief, man. I just wanted to thank you, honors to my elders and all my leaders.
My man. Thank you for calling in, my brother. I appreciate that, man. You keep doing the work, all right?
Yes, sir.
My king. Shalom.
Shalom.
I appreciate brothers calling in like that. We need to hear, that there's other people out there that can actually relate. And, I wish the world would see these shows and advertise these type of shows, because, how could you not advertise such beautiful stories of people who were fallen and broken to how they come to the knowledge of who they are, who their God is, and how they're changing their lives from wrong to right? How could you not advertise that all on the media? Which shows you this world cares nothing about us. So they are not our friend. And if they want to call themselves anything close to that, they're going to have to show respect, honor, and they're going to have to, like the Bible says, they're going to have to be charitable. They're going to have to do all the things that the Bible told us. To hate not an Edomite, hate not an Egyptian. They're going to have to show forth their fruits, meet for repentance. They're going to have to show forth it, guys. Because if not, hey, the line is drawn. And we know who wins this. So it's either you Gentiles out there, you come and join Christ, or guess what? Because every knee shall bow. Yes, some of us may not make it out of this, but guess what? We still come back to life. But every knee shall bow. And when you read in the book of Enoch, it talks about all type of crazy things for those who don't want to bow to Christ. You're talking about heads coming off like Game of Thrones and all that. So I think that they might want to start to get their mind right. So anyway, guys, bless you and your families. We're keeping everyone in prayer. We want to continue to, as this kingdom falls, us to continue to rise. Keep in mind that they are trying to do this reset when it comes to BRICS and people dropping the dollar and going to digital currency. Never fall for the dates that they say, but it's going to happen soon. Make sure that we're trying to invest as best in food, shelter, raiment, and, that's real estate, that's food to preserve, and, water. Mostly invest in your soul, obviously. But we're going to make it through this. Don't worry. But let's try our best to do what we need to do, because the more oil you have in your lamp, the easier it is for you to survive through this. Nothing's going to be easy, but it's going to be a little easier than if you didn't, is what I'm saying. So I just wanted to put that out there. Once again, make sure you go to historytimes.org. You already know, if you want to get yourself together, go to KIIYsupplements.com. That's KIIYsupplements.com. And if you see all the supplements I got down here, you would think I'm crazy. Because I make sure I take them. So, because I want to stay beautiful. I want to stay healthy. So, and I want you to do the same. But make sure you guys, when you're taking them, exercise. Make sure you exercise. Don't forget what me and your Rock said last week. Make sure you guys exercise. I can't tell you just to say do something. I want to say do something, but listen, no, do it. Let's get on it. Come on now. It's going to take some longer than others, but you can do it, all right? So make sure you're exercising, eating healthy, detoxing, parasite cleansing every few months, whatever the case may be. We have to start taking care of ourselves and our nation and our people, our children. And I'm gonna do. I think I can go live again on Instagram, so I'm start doing some lives about different things. I want to show how some of our supplements have actually been helping a lot of people, man. I praise the Most High for that, because that's why I started it. They've been helping so many people. So that's what it was about. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in the UK, London, islands of the Mediterranean Sea, Africa. Shout out to my brothers and sisters in Canada. Shout out to the brothers and sisters in, Australia, Hawaii. Peace and blessings, man. We love you all. And may you all have a blessed and beautiful night. Make sure you stay tuned for Elder Rawchaa show tomorrow. Okay, Deacon Hazak and Elder Moore show this week. The Hebrew and Bible Academy and the Sabbath lesson. So we got you guys booked all week to keep the wisdom and knowledge coming to you guys all day. I'm going to go have a good time with my family and my brother. Peace and blessings and shalom. All right? So, historytimes.org.
The Bible. Is it hard to understand?
When it comes to reading the Bible, the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that this is the Word of God.
The seals have been broken, and the truth is here.
And when we go throughout the scriptures, when we go throughout extra biblical records, we find that the language that God employed, that He used to create the heavens and the earth, was the Hebrew language.
Christ said, I came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But yet no one, no religious leader, no religious church out there anywhere can now identify the 12 tribes of Israel. Can we? God is quite simple, but it seems as if man makes understanding Him hard.
What are those mysteries?
The truth of your book and the truth will make you free. The Hebrew and Bible Academy.